dining, and there's dinnertainment. Get ready for an amazing dining experience like none you've ever had at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. When it comes to Asian cuisine, nobody does it better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented teppanyaki chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where delicious 7-course meals prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, cocktails, and more. Book your night of fun right now. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. That's 480-607-1114. We'll see you there.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
This is your Wendy's wake-up call. Start your day with a better breakfast and get a free drink with any of our morning-making breakfast sandwiches. That's your favorite drink in a Wendy's cup, free. Fresh brewed coffee, free. Diet Coke, free. Vanilla Frosty Chino, that's cold brew plus Frosty Creamer plus free. So don't sleep on this deal. Get any size drink in a Wendy's cup free when you buy any breakfast sandwich. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating Wendy's. On the card only. Offer valid upon request on lowest price qualifying item. Not valid for third-party delivery. Excludes prepackaged beverages.
Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cub Spring Training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today.
Live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix, 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender. Our good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, Major League Baseball has come out and said, well, we're going to have to delay the start of spring training until March 5th, and we'll start renegotiating this thing on Monday. We'll have it sorted out. Don't worry about it. So basically, they're delaying the start of something that isn't going to happen because you've locked everybody out. So, but at least that's the line they're going with, Randy.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I think they're using it as a ploy to get the union come back to the table and take this thing serious. And the players are like, we got nothing but time here. It's not going to affect us. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect your bottom line. So we'll see. We'll see. There was a little movement, not much yesterday in that little 15-minute meeting, but we'll see. I hope these guys can figure things out. There is some words. Some people like Jeff Passan and some of the other people that know. I was reading some of their articles that feel like both the parties will get back to work next week and probably be there every day in person. Whoa, how about that? Every day and in person talking about resolving these issues. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Well, in the meantime, I've had to start to find ways to amuse myself. And I stumbled across one that it was a lot of fun for me today.
Okay.
So my wife sends me over this news story, and she's like, Bruce Jacobs is in trouble. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not going to be good. I thought, okay, what has he said now? What has happened? And I opened up, and it's from ABC 15, and it says, millions of cell phones and home alarms will be cut off when 3G service ends. Because as you know, Bruce Jacobs uses an old ass flip phone.
Yeah.
And so I sent him this story and I said, well, you're screwed. And he comes back and says, I don't know if I have any G's. He said, I may as well just go sell this then if it's true. And then he goes, meanwhile, the commies are following your every move. I could not resist. So I sent him back. I said, well, they can know my every move. I'm not that interesting. His reply, bad answer by you. Like,
the problem is, are you texting
here we
him
go.
this the whole time? Are you texting
that's the
back
thing.
and forth?
You can't text Bruce Jacobs because he has a flip phone. So you take that conversation takes even longer. This is all by emails back and forth. If he loses his phone, we might be using carrier pigeons. So then he says, yeah, we looked it up. Chief says he thinks Verizon customers are going to have a December 22 deadline. And then he says to me after he says bad answer, I said, actually, I'm thinking of defecting to China. They have a lot of good ideas.
Oh no.
I'm just waiting for the response now. This has just made my day.
No,
because you know that each one of these emails is raising his blood pressure, and I can picture his face when I send them. And at some point, he's going to figure out that I'm just messing with him.
He's going to spend 35 minutes on it on Monday morning, just talking about what happened with you.
I'm all right with that because I'm the most annoying kind of person to someone like him, or even to somebody who is on the other side. If you're a far left or a far right, I'm a moderate. I'm right in the middle. So I am going to piss everybody off at some point. So it just kind of cracks me up, just having my own little fun there. You have to make your own fun. When Major League Baseball decides they ain't going to do nothing.
I don't know when you were sending him these emails, but you know he's got a very rigid schedule. Were you bothering him during his nap time? It's very important he gets his naps.
Well, see, it was just about 30 minutes ago, the last one. So I think he's about ready to go to bed. He must have just had dinner at the Luby's cafeteria.
Oh,
and
no, not the Luby's.
That's right. By the way, just before I forget, since it's a Friday show, nobody cares. Yeah. Navy Brad sent me a message. This was odd. I almost thought he was trolling me. He says, hey, do you need a 30-foot flagpole? No, I don't, but thanks. Appreciate the offer. And then I figured that would be the end of that. And Navy Brad comes back and says, you see if Randy wants one.
A 30-foot flagpole?
I guess he got a new flagpole. This is the old one. I don't know what the new flagpole is like, but Navy Brad has a 30-foot flagpole if you want it.
Oh, man. No, thank you. I don't think my HOA will allow that.
Yeah, I think that they have to. I don't think they can stop you, really. But
I'm on the fringe already with my HOA. So if I put a flagpole up, that might be a bit much.
How about you, Keon? Could you use a 30-foot flagpole?
I live in an apartment, so the answer is
yes. The answer is yes.
Where would I put it?
Think about how legendary you'd be. You put a 30-foot flagpole right out in front, and then the manager comes in the next day and is like, well, who put that up?
Where did that come from?
And how am I going to get? I just may as well leave it there. So yeah, sorry, Navy Brad, no takers on the 30-foot flagpole, but who ships that? Is that something that is that UPS?
It's got to come in pieces. There has to be, you have to break it down.
Something else, as we're realizing there'll be no Major League Baseball. Last night, my wife and I tried to watch a new show, and Marshawn Lynch was on it. It's something on the Netflix called Murderville, and the guy who was Job from Arrested Development, or you know him as Lego Batman, he plays a murder cop, homicide cop, and every week he has a celebrity trainee with him. And what makes the show unique is everybody has the script, but the celebrity guest. They have to improv their way through it. First one was Conan O'Brien, and he did fine enough, but it was like, all right, that's fine. Marshawn Lynch was friggin' hilarious. If you watch only one episode of that show, watch the one with Marshawn Lynch in it. He came out just hilarious. And then later you could tell he got serious because he was trying to solve the crime. That's the other thing. the guest has to solve the crime and a big reveal at the end. And if they're wrong, they're fired. If they're right, then everybody says attaboy. So it's a really clever show. And Marshawn Lynch just killed it. I mean, there's going to be comedians, there's going to be actors on this show, but I so far, if you have it's a half hour. Because there's no damn baseball. You may as well try it.
What streaming service is it on?
It's on Netflix, and it's called Murderville.
Okay.
It was just we're laughing our asses off. Marshawn Lynch, because you have to understand, it's not just that he's acting, but he's improvising. So he's coming up with the stuff he's saying as you go, and we're just like, damn, that is good.
that is. I have to check that out now. Yeah,
you definitely have to check that out. So
take care of y'all chicken.
So today I messed with Bruce Jacobs, turned down the offer of a 30-foot flagpole, let you guys know that Murderville was worth watching, trying to get Randy to watch Letterkenny so we can understand all the references that we make here on the show. Here's something. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, been an interesting day for you.
Yeah, there has been a lot. My dog is, I was telling these guys off air, the dog is, he's been here almost 2 weeks, but his true puppy self has shown up. And I think it's just he's getting more and more comfortable. And I'm doing all the right things to train him. It's just going to take a minute. But he digging in the yard, chasing. I don't mind he chases the birds, but he's digging in the yard, and he would shoot up a bed, and he was chewing on a computer cable that could have killed him. So we're doing the corrective things, and I'm just in my head. I'm thinking, man, just one more thing. And my wife, and then she just before the show it came out and said, he's chewing on the wall now. And I walked out there, and he's chewing on the wall. So
he's
this dog
chewing on the wall.
Yeah. Right. Well, the railing for the stairs, and then there's that little hump of wall right there that the railing is connected to, and he's just like, and right next to it was his giant chew toy. So this is going to be some work. It's going to be a little bit of work.
That sounds like it.
Yeah, I might need to change his name. It was Buddy O'Brien. It might be something else. I still haven't called him the other thing that I always call my dogs. I still haven't done that yet, but
a-hole.
Yeah. 888-368-1580. All I need is to just put a bunch of vinegar in a spray bottle and just spray him directly in the eyes every time he does something wrong. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I just want to see Keon's face. He's like, yeah, what? Why would you do that? Oh my God. No, you spray the stuff that he's trying to chew on. And then he's like, dogs hate vinegar. So that comes in handy there.
I've never had a dog.
This is the problem. When I get slightly bored, I just say crazy stuff to see reactions.
I see this, and I can't. When I ask you about dog ownership, whenever that day comes for me, I'm gonna have to tell you to be serious because I don't know.
And see, that's just gonna inspire me to go the other direction.
No. See, you have a cat. I don't think you'll ever be able to have a dog.
No, some dogs and cats can coexist.
When cats get you trained a certain way. See, I have 3 cats, but they're not my cats. They're Miss Kim's cats. They've been here for 20 years. And so they were here long before me. And I've come into their domicile. We have 2 cats. One of them, the big giant one that never came out of the bedroom. Yeah, well, she passed away. But we got blessed. We have 2 cats, and they have trained me, and they have Miss Kim completely trained. Like when she sits down in the chair, the one of them I call her the big furry black headrest because she jumps up right behind her and starts pawing her like pet me. So she has Miss Kim trained. See me, she'll try to do that business with me, and I'm just like lay down. And I'll put something over me, and she'll get bored and go lay down. See, so I've got her trained. Okay,
so me help train you. I mean, here's the thing:
the cats have already tried to train.
No, I can help.
Don't think that you can train me.
Randy, I'm coming over, and I'll just here's what it is.
All right,
it's going to be a how-to on how to make it look like an accident.
Oh, well, Miss Kim and I have already discussed
problem solved.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Average Joe says, I really hope Major League Baseball and the MLBPA can get a deal done. They should just hit the beach, have a pina colada, and get this thing worked out.
Oh, if you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain,
it doesn't bother me as much anymore because there's nobody in Speedo dancing to it.
Well, because I don't like the song. So
I hate the song.
There's nothing for me to dance to. I can't. I literally
Now there's two of them.
forget the lyrics. I don't enjoy the tune of the song. There's nothing about that song that I like.
Thunder Snow says, I'd love to put that 30-foot flagpole up. I can't say
Excuse
where
me?
he wants to put that up.
I
He
know.
says, let's see, Big
Shouldn't be
George
anatomically possible, but
said, it right through you, maybe a little Vlad the Impaler style. Big George says, Lubies. I heard Bruce Jacobs eats the old Bennigan's at Fiesta Mall. He also frequents Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips. Big George, thank you. King Kitten says, okay, boys, welcome to the Friday edition of the Daily Blender. Need a little support. Oh, he lost his job. Said, I was laid off today. So, Randy, a double shot of rye and a beer, please. And now for the good news. An hour after I was laid off, I got a phone call for a new job, and I've got an in-person interview 9 a.m. Monday morning. There you go.
Congratulations. That's
There
the
you
way
go.
to turn it around. There
Well
we go.
done, big guy. Daylight Drew says, hey, fellas, been working with the Kansas City Royals for 12 years and the Rangers for 7. So this labor dispute has been brutal for many industries financially tied to spring training. Sucks
Yeah.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to need a double scotch right there.
All right. Here we
Sorry to hear that, Daylight Drew. Yeah. This is going to wreak havoc on Mesa, on Glendale,
Peoria,
Mhm.
Scottsdale.
Tucson won't really be able to tell the difference, but still,
I
any
don't-
place.
I don't know that anybody's in Tucson anymore.
Oh, I thought they still had some teams down there.
I don't think so. Since
Awfully
since they
smart of
built
the teams.
since they built the one for the Diamondbacks
Right.
and the Colorado Rockies out there in Scottsdale, out there by the station.
Oh,
I
good.
don't think there was any
I thought
teams
there
down
was
in Tucson.
still a team or two down there. Keon will
Now,
check that out. But I mean,
there
up yours,
used-
Tucson.
There used to be the Tucson Sidewinders, but I don't think they even play down there anymore.
I'm sure you're right. I just thought there was one
Hmm.
team. Average Joe says, thank you, Randy. Big Kev says, watch the Daytona duels last night.
Yeah.
Roosh, Fenway, Keselowski Racing got off to a big start in their new era.
Yeah.
They all got the top slot there in those new cars. Well, we're going to talk about that later, Big Kev. Here's the schedule for today's show. This is a show so
Wait, we
chock
have a
full of
schedule?
nougaty goodness that we
had actual schedule
Yep.
today.
So in just a few minutes, we're going to have Keon Rose's college basketball dance party.
Yeah.
And then in the next hour, we're going to have the race set up with Randy White. And then at 5:18, we're going to have Sports Betting 101 with Josh Applebaum getting us ready for the weekend. You've got college basketball. And listen, I'm just kidding. You know, it sucks that spring training's not starting yet or if ever. But, you know, there's plenty of other sports to talk about, watch, and bet on. So, yeah, but I just feel bad for guys like Daylight Drew and other people out there whose, you know, livelihood depend on this.
Right. Or at least extra money. You're talking about people that do the sodas and the beer distribution, the vendors that are all around the park there. You got also people that work in the multimedia aspect of things. You've got people that are seasonal helpers with all the television and radio broadcasts that are broadcast around the country. So a lot of people that will be affected by this. So.
Yeah, they're going to notice the missing income. I mean, people sort of schedule and put their lives together for this. People who work as contractors and whatnot. So yeah, this goes farther than a bunch of whiny ass millionaires fighting with each other, and it's a damn shame. Fed fan says, Keon, when Jeffrey starts to give you puppy advice, shake your head in agreement, then go ask somebody who really knows about dogs. I know about dogs.
I'm not afraid that Jeffrey doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm afraid Jeffrey is going to tell me the wrong thing on purpose because it'll be hilarious for him when I come back and go, you told me that and my couch is a stuffing
I'll
pit,
be on,
just like
it sounds like me. I'm be honest. It sounds like me, but I wouldn't do that to you. I love dogs and puppies, and I'm not going to steer you wrong because it might blow back on the puppy.
Keon, you see the guy that's sitting back there? You see that guy right
Cecil.
there? Cecil the Wonder Dog? You would not know that, but he actually ate an entire leather couch that I had when he was a puppy. That guy right there, all full of life. Look at him. Powerful dog right there.
He's a power napper now.
Yeah, he is.
Cowboy Sparky says, so Jaden Daniels is gone, huh? Well, the Alabama transfer takes over now. That's what I was thinking the other day, but Yeah, there's a lot of time left, guys. We can't know for sure who's going to end up being your quarterback just yet.
And if Herm's been working the transfer portal this whole time, then I imagine, go in there and see if you can lure anybody out and replace Jaden Daniel in some way.
King Kenton says the Diamondbacks had a couple of spring training games scheduled for Vegas. Big home. Lost Toby says, my girlfriend has officially become a birthday weekend Nazi. I also need a double alcohol, please. She's changed our camping trip location 4 times now. I spent an hour researching it just to get Google a new idea with no direction. I just want to go out there and fish. Oh, Lost Toby.
Wow,
Yeah.
Lost Toby. Sorry about that.
Sounds awful.
So is it her birthday weekend or is it yours? Because if it's hers, well, then she has a right to request things. But if it's yours, still, yeah, you're just gonna have to put up with it. All right, we gotta take a break. When we come back, let's find out what's happening this weekend in the world of college basketball. And that's right, Keon Rose's college basketball dance party. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Updated college basketball odds. Gonzaga, the favorite to win the national championship at +400, with 2 SEC teams, Auburn and Kentucky, behind them at +800, then Arizona +900, and Purdue +1200. The NBA will take a week off for the All-Star break, with the All-Star game Sunday night in Cleveland. Team LeBron, a -215 moneyline favorite. Team Durant at +185. The over-under set at 319.5. Jalen Green, a +130 favorite to win the slam dunk contest, ahead of Obi Toppin at +210. Fred VanVleet +400 in the three-point contest. Trae Young and Patty Mills both +425. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
The Renaissance Festival is back!
Huzzah! Weekends now through April 3rd.
Huzzah! Great shopping, a giant crafts market. Your favorite shows.
Be ready to have a great time and don't be afraid to participate.
Huzzah! Jousting night.
Huzzah!
Silly fun for the entire family.
Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival.
Lots of new shows. Non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. It's fun and affordable.
You will adore the Renaissance Festival.
The Renaissance Festival is back.
Huzzah! Weekend now through April 3rd. Discount tickets available at Fashions and Food City
or online at arizona.breakfastinfo.com.
Presented by Delta Airlines,
Fashions, Food City,
Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
You can always save on Renaissance Festival admission with discount tickets at Fashions and Food City stores statewide. Huzzah!
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. That's 800-807-1981.
Think you know about meth? Think again. Today's methamphetamine is far more potent, more addictive, and more deadly than ever before. Today's meth is often laced with the deadly drug fentanyl. In fact, deaths from meth use have doubled in Arizona. What can you do? Get the facts at thenewmeth.com and know there's hope and resources for recovery. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
We just can't help it. We have to do it. It's in our DNA. At 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, we have to bring you the most epic moments in sports.
March Madness NFL playoffs. the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we can't help it. We are 1580 at 99.3 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Sven Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up this weekend, we got some college basketball for you. Texas Tech is taking on Texas at 10:15 a.m. And then at 5:45 p.m., we got GCU with New Mexico State in that rivalry game. And of course, last night, go ASU 81-57 over Oregon. How about that? And of course, Oregon State is coming to town to take on ASU on Saturday. It's how it works. You get the Oregon and the Oregon State, so you get the Ducks, you get the Beavers. But it was a nice win for Arizona State. But if we're honest, Keon, neither Oregon team is that great this year, right? They're both a little bit on par, if we should say, with ASU.
Yeah, they've been really average teams this year, which is surprising for Oregon, just because of how usually solid a basketball Oregon is, and they're solid, but they're not the class of the Pac-12, which they can be in certain seasons where Arizona's obviously been great this year, UCLA's been great, but Oregon.
Well, LoveTube is on the text line. LoveTube. And he says, I won tickets to the ASU Oregon State basketball game this morning from Jacobs and Helly. 15th row, center court, olive juice guys. I think he means I love you guys. Well, that's right. We also sent a couple of super fans from the Fourth Dimension to the same game. So you'll probably be sitting somewhere in the same area as them. So be sure to say hi to, who was it? The one? It was,
Puts lotion in the basket.
That's
Bad Grad.
Bad Grad. That's right. So there you go. 888-368-1580. And ladies and gentlemen, since we're talking about it, well, let's do it. It's time now for Keon Rose's college basketball dance party.
Oh, you guys shimmy so well. All right, Keon, we're going through the top 25. Nobody in action tonight, but we could start tomorrow as number 12 ranked the Fighting Illini of Illinois takes on number 19 Michigan State. Be careful what you say here about this matchup.
Here's the thing with this matchup, though. You got two teams that are kind of struggling a little bit, not where they were earlier in the season. Michigan State's kind of on the schneid right now, trying to keep pace with everybody in the Big Ten. They're not playing as well as they started, and obviously the Illini, they're ranked higher, but it's not like they're world beaters the same way that they were, and that is despite the fact that they've got Kofi Cockburn there at center.
Cockburn.
I feel like because Michigan State is at home, I don't think the gap between Illinois and the Spartans is that big. Give me the Spartans at home.
Okay. In the next matchup, TCU travels to Baylor to take on the number 7 team in the land right now, 12 o'clock high noon on Saturday. Who you got in that matchup? It's TCU versus Baylor.
There was a little bit of a rough patch in the middle of the season for Baylor. Baylor's back, man, and they are back with a vengeance. And I'll tell you something. TCU, they're scrappy. They can go in anybody's place and try and get some things done. Defensively, I like watching TCU. However, this Baylor Bears team, coming fresh off of obviously a national championship, they're looking like they want to repeat, and they have a really good chance to do that. And the reason why they're ranked 7th in this nation is that offensively, I mean, they can pretty much do whatever they want, especially down in the low post. Baylor at home, that's a tough place to go and win. I'm sorry, TCU. We're going Baylor Bears.
All right. You just heard Jeffrey talk about it. Number 11 ranked Texas Tech is paying a visit to Austin to take on the Longhorns, who are ranked number 20. Good tickets are still available for $150 is the starting price if you want to go.
I mean,
who you got in this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, it's a rivalry game. Texas went in to Texas Tech's house and barely escaped with the victory in their lives there. Obviously, Texas hired away Chris Beard, the Red Raiders head coach, over the course of the offseason. This is his first year at Texas, and the Texas Tech fans bleeping hate him. And not only that, the fact that their team hasn't really missed a beat without the coach that got hired away ought to tell you where this team's mindset is. Texas got the best of them before. Texas just escaped Oklahoma I think it's a lot to ask for Texas to keep this thing rolling. I'm going to go Red Raiders here over my Horns.
Do you think Texas Tech could be outside the favorite to be a Final Four team?
Yeah, they very well could be. They are one of the more efficient teams shooting the basketball from 3-point range in the NCAA. And I just think that they have so much more talent than they were given credit for at the beginning of the season. They're clearly one of the better teams in the Big 12, which is having a really good basketball year for the entire conference. Yeah, I wouldn't be stunned if Texas Tech were a Final Four team at all.
All right, let's move on in our countdown here. As number 25 ranked Alabama pays a visit to Wildcat country, the Kentucky Wildcats ranked number 4 currently. Good tickets available there for $97.77 a piece if you want to go to that at the Rupp Arena Central Bank Center.
Yeah, if you want to, and obviously it's a great game when you go to the Rupp Arena. And Alabama, they're playing good basketball right now, and I am a big fan of where Kentucky is at, but I'm worried about Kentucky for a couple of reasons. One, if I'm not mistaken, a week ago, Tennessee beat them up and gave them that work. And then also, Ty Washington, one of their better players, has been dealing with an injury. I believe the last game he played in didn't accomplish much. He played through an injury. Honestly, he probably shouldn't have played. He was 1 of 2 in the game from 3-point range. I'm not liking Kentucky right now dealing with the injury. I hope that Ty Washington gets better, but I think Alabama can pull off the upset right now. This is a weakened Wildcats team.
Okay. All right. We'll move along here. Number 2 Auburn in action this Saturday. They'll be taking on Florida in Florida. What do you say about that game?
Little bit of a get right for Auburn here. They're number 2 ranked, and but they've had the couple of losses that they've had lately haven't been great losses. Obviously, they had an overtime loss to Tennessee. That wasn't one that they liked, and of course, they were shocked on their home floor. I believe by Arkansas, if I'm remembering that correctly. But they were stunned, and that winning streak that they had going suddenly falling apart a little bit. They're still the second best team in the nation, but they're playing Florida, and Florida hasn't been great this year. And I expect them to use this game to sort of reorient themselves in the conversation and reassert that dominance that they've had going. Bruce Pearl is having a fantastic season, and I just don't see how Florida beats the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn, a Final Four team, in your opinion?
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. Moving
right along to some team you're very familiar with, number 16 in the country, Big Orange. The Tennessee Volunteers will be traveling to Arkansas to take on the number 23 Razorbacks. What say you, Keon Rose?
I mean, when they started the season, I had serious concerns about Tennessee, and this was a Tennessee team that had high aspirations for the year. But Rick Barnes, fantastic coach. He's kind of turned everything a little bit around there for them. They've won 5 in a row now, 10 of their last 11 games. They're starting to look good. And Arkansas coming out of a game where they had 5 double-digit scorers against Missouri. This is actually going to be one of the best matchups happening on Saturday.
Yeah.
But the Tennessee Volunteers are red hot. I'm going to go Vols on the road against the Razorbacks.
All right. They are ranked 16 in the country, so it'll be interesting. It's a game I'm looking forward to seeing. So let's move around into one of these kind of fringe teams. You know, you get to the tournament, you get one of these fringe teams that play Cinderella, and they end up going a long way. Murray State is ranked 21 in the country right now. They're going to be taking on UT Martin. I know it's not a popular pick to talk about this game, but I want to know your thoughts. 21 Murray State facing off against UT Martin.
Yeah, I mean, if you overlook Murray State and some of these other schools that are smaller schools, but they're top 25 ranked, that's a good way to get yourself beat. This is a 25-2 basketball team. You know, they don't lose very often. And they're going to go up against a UT Martin team that I expect to just blow the doors off of them. They're going to beat up UT Martin and beat them up pretty bad. Keep an eye on Murray State. They're a team that could be maybe a Sweet 16, Elite 8 kind of team, maybe even go further. They're disciplined, and they push the ball up the floor. I love watching them play. I'm sure you'll love watching them play too, but I'm going to go Murray State in this game.
Okay, let's move. I have a question to ask you, Keon, and I hate to ask this because this is like basketball royalty. I remember back in the day when these guys were so good, and Georgetown has fallen on some real hard times lately. And this weekend, this Saturday, they're going against number 10 Villanova team that I think should probably just dismantle them. But the last time I saw Georgetown play, they played tough. They played hard. They just lost the game. What's happening there with Georgetown?
You know, they're just not consistent. That's really what it is. Like sometimes they'll play a really solid game, you know, have push a top opponent to the brink, and then the next game just fall flat against someone that they ought to bully and beat up. And it's disappointing. And you'd love to see them do better because they, like you said, they used to be basketball royalty, a blue blood of college basketball. But right now they're not getting it done in the Big East. And unfortunately, I don't think that they can beat Villanova right now. Villanova's won 5 in a row. And Jay Wright and company, you know, they had a game where they beat Providence earlier in the week. That Providence team in close games, you don't want to hang with Providence in a close game. They will absolutely take you to the bottom and drown you. Villanova beat them in a close game down late, you know, found a way to pull it out. So I just don't see how Georgetown gets it done. It's sad to see them struggle this year, but Wildcats doing big things.
Love Tube on the text line says, did you not watch Texas Tech beat Baylor the other night? Baylor's dinged up too.
Yeah, they are. But Texas Tech is damn good. It's not just because Baylor's deep is the other thing, but they went head to head with Texas Tech, who is ranked 11. They're ranked 7. I mean, we're talking about two teams that are very, very close. Baylor's dinged, but we're talking Texas Tech is damn good.
Big George says, why does Randy keep telling us the ticket prices for these games? Is Randy running a ticket scalping business on the side or something?
The reason I keep saying that is Florida State's paying a visit to number 9 Duke at the Cameron Indoor Stadium. Good tickets still available for $615.49.
You got the average ticket price there, I think, listed on the CBS Sports. And some of these numbers are mind-boggling. You're like, yeah, I want to take the kid out to go watch a college hoops game. Oh, never mind. We can't afford it. That ticket is $300.
Let's go to the Pac-12 and open that up. Washington pays a visit to Pauley Pavilion against number 13 UCLA. Is this going to be a scary game for the Bruins, or should UCLA just take care of business?
I mean, I fully expect UCLA to take care of business. It's not like Washington is the worst team in the world, but they're just above 500. They're not going to make the tournament, I don't believe. You know, unless some miracle happens and they win the Pac-12 tournament. Whereas UCLA has had a tremendous year, beating up just about everybody in sight and continue to roll through things. Got 5 losses on the season. So it's been a little tougher as of late because UCLA started off as the team to beat in the Pac-12. That's not true anymore as Arizona's come on as of late. So I do think UCLA has to right their ship a little bit, but they're better than Washington. They should beat them.
Tune-up game for the last stretch of the regular season heading into the tournament for UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a conference game, so those are important. Obviously, you want the best seeding that you can get going into the conference tournament, so you can get some of those buys because you're just playing a game every day. So you don't want to be playing 3 games in a row when you could just play a couple.
Right. All right. Finally, here we're running out of time. Last game, Oregon. The Ducks travel to Tucson, take number 3 Arizona to task at the McHale Memorial Center. Who do you got in this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Arizona. They've been so good lately. They've been so dominant. They seem to not have missed a beat this year. I really thought that there was going to be some growing pains. You got a new coach in there. I thought there's going to be a little bit of a struggle. Haven't missed a step. And not only that, but they've gotten a whole lot better as the season went on. And I thought, well, they stumbled against UCLA. And earlier in the year, who did they beat? There were question marks around this Arizona team. But questions have been answered. Arizona is the best team in the Pac-12 right now. And quite frankly, you got to look at them as a potential Final Four team as well.
I have a question. How come I'm the only one dancing during Keon Rose's call? The whole time I've been dancing. I'm the only one.
I danced at the beginning. I am incapable of multitasking. I can't dance and talk college hoops at the same time. I'm sorry.
All right. I don't dance because people often stare and point. It scares people.
It's because you're so good.
Is that what it is?
I think so. Mars
All
Bars
right, they're
805
just jealous.
says, let's go Duke.
Let's go Duke.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
888
they got Florida State at home. That handle them. They're not very good.
Big George says, question for Jeffrey O'Brien, 1580 the Fanatic. When you were growing up in Oregon, were you a fan of the Oregon Ducks or the Oregon State Beavers? I think if I lived in Oregon, I'd be a fan of the Beavers since they get overshadowed by the Nike money at the University of Oregon. Well, to give you an idea, I left there when I was 12. And at that moment, I did not give a crap. So I didn't care if it was the Ducks or the Beavers. I thought both were pretty lame names for teams. And I feel no allegiance to anything other than the fact that someone else from Oregon is as pasty white as me. Outside of that, I don't care about Oregon State. I don't care about Oregon. All I care about is one school, ASU. That's the one that I care about. That's the one I grew up with. That's where all my friends went. And that's where my allegiances lie. So I hope I cleared that up for you. All right, we have to take a break. When we come back, we will jump right back in and talk about stuff and things and stuff and football and Olympics and
all right
stuff.
Sports stuff.
Yeah. Except for baseball. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2022 Winter Games. Day 15 finished up in Beijing this morning with the U.S. women's bobsled team looking to add to its hardwood collection as Kaylee Humphreys and Alana Myers-Taylor both piloted their own sleds in the first two runs of the two-woman bobsled. Myers-Taylor is currently in third place. Humphreys sits in fifth. And a couple of German teams are holding the first and second spots heading into the final two runs, which take place tomorrow morning. Earlier this morning, Myers-Taylor was chosen to carry the American flag in Sunday night's closing ceremony. The four-time Olympian was unable to do that job in the opening ceremony after testing positive for COVID. Figure skating's mixed pair short program concluded as well with the gold medal favorites, Shui and Han of China, currently in first place. Americans Alexa Knierim and Brandon Frazier are in sixth. Teammates Ashley Kane-Gribble and Timothy LeDuc are seventh, heading into tomorrow night's mixed pairs free program. With this Winter Games update, I'm Erica Herskowitz, Westwood One Sports.
Introducing Venture X, Capital One's new travel card for people always asking,
Where next?
you earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Bruce Jacobs here again from my friends at ProCopy. For the last year, you've heard me talk about how ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available for over 20 years, plus their outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. Now part of Flex Technologies Group, they are committed to ProCopy's industry leadership and excellence. Whether you have branches anywhere in the U.S. or right here in Arizona, you can count on ProCopy and Flex Technologies for all your office equipment needs. They focus on print, document management, document production, and managed IT, representing the best brands such as Canon and Ricoh. They proudly serve over 35,000 customers nationally. They still remain a local company and continue to give back to the community. The ProCopy Foundation has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Give them a call, 602-PRO-COPY. That's 602-776-2679, and tell them Bruce Jacobs sent you.
I'm here to tell you about a technological shocker. Believe it or not, you can listen to us on your smart speaker.
That's shocking.
Wow.
What a world we live in.
All you have to do is say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. Welcome back to the Daily Letter. 1580, 99.3. The Fanatic. Hey, we got sports coming out all of our different orifices this weekend. Daytona 500 Sunday, college basketball Saturday, GCU Saturday. I mean, if it's sports, then doggone it, we've got it happening. Speaking of college basketball is here, and FanDuel Sportsbook has got an offer that you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can place their first college basketball bet risk-free, and if you don't win, you'll get up to $1,000 back. Yeah,
risk-free?
Risk-free, $1,000 back if you don't win. What are you doing?
Just nothing.
So what's the hell?
Everything's fine.
Is that what? Do I have pineapple? Is that what's
no,
going
not
on?
now. Now you're fine. Yeah, it was like a second or two.
I just wanted to fit
in. Go ahead.
You can bet college basketball any way you like. Take a chance at same-game parlay bets. Jump into the action with live betting or bet with big promotions like odds boosts. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now's the perfect time to give it a shot. The app is easy to use, always hooking you up with great odds. And when you win, you get paid in as little as 2 hours. See for yourself why I think FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook and why it definitely is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and sign up with promo code Randy1580. You're going to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. That's Randy1580. And get that first bet, if you lose, up to $1,000 risk-free. You got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text next step to 53342.
Damn it. You know, I just realized something, Randy. I got FanDuel. I have the FanDuel Sports app, but I also have the DraftKings Sports app. And, you know, I really should have been the entire time Keon was doing his college basketball dance party. I probably should have been listening more than I was dancing, because that might have been able to help me with my betting and stuff. So
there you go.
Might have to have you guys do that again. Can you do that again right now?
Sure. Why not? Let's do it right now. You ready, Keon?
Oh, wait. No, actually, I'll just go back and listen to the podcast. No, we're good. We're good.
Better idea.
Yeah.
Better idea.
We'll have it up in about 15 minutes.
So I'll believe that when it happens. Somebody said something to you, Keon.
Okay.
And before I read what they said, gotta ask you, you're tracking all your predictions just like you did for football?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and listen.
Well, Papa Mike was actually tracking him for Keon and himself.
Well, we can't count on just Papa Mike, because
I will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to put this right back into Senior Wake and Bake's face. He says, Keon, your predictions shaky at best.
Okay.
I mean, I thought you were like in college football. I thought you were like 75% correct.
I had a really damn good record in college football, but that's okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, college sports is Keon's jam, man. He's going to kick ass on the basketball as much as he kicked ass on the football. So, you know, you may disagree with what he's saying sometimes, but his record will, speak for itself. That's why I'm like, now I'm ashamed that I didn't listen. I could have bet on some of the things that Keon was saying.
And I get emotionless with stuff here, man. I picked against my own team at home.
Although, keep in mind, these are for entertainment purposes only. I feel like I had to say that, because then everybody would be like, I'm going to bet everything Keon says. And then they'll be pissed.
It's not a betting segment, by the way. I'm just telling you who I think's going to win.
Just for fun.
Whatever happens is your responsibility.
The fun part of it should have been obvious, because it's a dance party.
Yeah, we set it to disco.
Right. Yeah, that should be a damn giveaway right there. Yeah. 888-368-1580. Mars Bars 805 says, happy Faded Friday, guys. It's a doggy dog world out there. I'll take an 805, please. There you go. Jag Dog says, Jeffrey, I had a dog who ate all the foam and wiring around my AC unit, ripped out my drip system, and tried to bring it in the house through the doggy door once. Like, look what I found. This is for you. Golly. You know, I remember months before our last dog got sick and passed away. One day, my wife and I are just sitting there watching a show, And, you'd hear the doggy door open and close, no big deal. And all of a sudden, here comes the dog. And she comes over and it does, as she often does, puts her chin on my leg, like, hi. And I look down and she's brought me a live dove. And her mouth was locked. Really? Me? Is it just so bad? It's not Randy, it's me.
Karma is a real pain in the ass, isn't it?
Shoot. Hold on. I got to yell at some people. I'll be right back.
I'm sure you will. I thought it was me, but no, it wasn't me.
There was like a little bit of you, but it wasn't even that bad. And then he came in making fun of you. And the moment he started talking, it came right back around.
Wow. Hate that when that happens. I don't even know what to talk about now. I'm so tickled. Let's see.
Okay now?
Much better.
Yes. Okay. That was magical.
It was funny. I just had to knock on some doors and say, hey, get off the internet. I'm not on the internet. What a miracle.
Magical.
So did you hear anything I had said at all?
I mean, I heard you.
I heard somebody needed an 805 so I poured that for him.
Is that Randy sending?
No, that's Randy now.
Okay.
Is that me now?
I will no longer make fun of Randy.
Yeah, that's what we were joking about when you left. Was the karma was just so fast.
It might be the radio station is screwing both of us for all you know. Could be Yukion. You ever think of that?
Well, I'm never going to sound bad, am I? How would we know?
It's a good point. 888-368-1580. Senior Wake and Bake thought I was maybe sending the fax. Big George says, is Chewbacca doing this FanDuel promo read thing here? King Kitten says, what if somebody put $1 on every pick from Keon's broadcast? Would they be ahead? Would they be behind? Would they break even? Well, if it had been the football, you'd be ahead, right?
Yeah, you'd have been ahead by a decent amount. It was a really good year all the way down to the championship. I mean, yeah, which college football is my absolute specialty. I'm good with college basketball. I'm best with college football, but college basketball is still great, and I'm still incredibly into it.
Well, we'll see how your record is at the end of this year. We're pulling for you, Keon, because I just built you up pretty big. I'm gonna look real dumb if you suck.
Well, I haven't let you down so far, so
Keon's
keep
half
the ball
tempted
rolling.
to suck just to do that.
Well, no, because it would make me look bad too.
Here's
can't...
my station list. Here's the real one over here. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, let me get this straight. You only like Arizona State University athletics. That's why all you root for. Okay, duly noted. I also saw on NFL Network that the Colts are thinking seriously about just releasing Carson Wentz because they can't find any takers. Well, that is a very strong possibility. They'll have to eat $15 million of that contract, but it'll at least save them another $16 million. That is not going to get your damn draft picks back, is it? I'm so sick about how that whole deal went down and was handled. You almost feel like just keep them there. If you find something better, great, but just leave them there. Unless you have, don't talk to me about no Jimmy Garoppolo either. Yeah, you find something that makes a difference. We're going to keep Carson Wentz. We'll have another garbage year, but at least it won't be. Believe me, it can get worse. I mean, it'll get worse without at least Carson Wentz level.
I can tell you for a fact I know it can get worse. I've seen a quarterback, and then that quarterback is followed by an even worse other quarterback. And I just don't think the Jimmy Garoppolo thing's happening because I just don't think that the Colts want to spend tons of money on a quarterback that they don't know for a fact will be the guy that pulls the rest of this team together because they're just a quarterback away.
Thunder Snow says 1580, your robotic voice station. And Lost Toby says, you guys running on dial-up? Actually, no, it's coin operated, but thanks for asking. Cowboy Sparky says, Russians, Jeffrey, the Russians are doing it. Well, if you ask Bruce Jacobs, it's the Chinese because of what I said earlier, probably. Kiss the Cook says, it's Friday, Blender, heading out to watch 600cc mini sprints, big race scheduled for tonight and Saturday. I'm also starting out the week getting chocolate wasted.
Chocolate wasted?
No idea what that means. What does chocolate wasted mean, Kiss the Cook?
Just let rain
That's something else. Right?
And others feel the pain. Chocolate rain.
You heard this song, Keon, right? That's one of our favorite songs.
Haven't heard it in forever, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where did Rudy just pull that out of?
Kiss the Cook, we're going to have you explain what chocolate wasted is. I don't want to presume.
Wasn't that in an Adam Sandler movie?
Was it?
I saw the commercial. I remember seeing the commercial for it, and there was a joke about getting chocolate wasted. They were talking about getting wasted around kids, and then they kind of said, "Oh, it's about chocolate milk," and so the kids were all saying it. Something like that. I didn't watch the movie.
We want to get chocolate wasted. Yeah. What was that? What movie was that?
Could have been Happy Madison, Billy Madison, or was it the one where he was a dad?
Had to be the one where he was a dad, because it was one of the ones I don't like.
Little blonde, Richie Rich looking kid. Is that what it was?
We want to get chocolate wasted too.
Well, I want to know what. Oh, Fish Tank says that's from Grown Ups. That's from the movie Grown Ups.
Oh, is that what it is?
So, okay, Kiss the Cook, knock yourself out. The Jet says, so Jeffrey, your two favorite football programs are in disarray. Please don't ever cheer for Nebraska Cornhuskers. They have enough issues without your help. And by the way, happy Friday. Pour me a bourbon, please. Why is everybody coming after me? I didn't do nothing.
I don't know. And I mean, okay, the ASU is now in disarray. It wasn't. I mean, just rewind the clock a few months. It wasn't. And I would not say that Jeffrey's Colts are in disarray. They have a quarterback problem, which is most of the league, honestly.
Yeah, but do they though? They got that 4-star transfer from Alabama, and maybe Chase Daniels is leaving because he just had enough of merry-go-round with the offensive coordinators. He's going into another like his final season, and he's going to have to learn an offensive scheme from the ground up at ASU, where he feels like he's been going backwards. I don't know.
Could be any number of reasons till somebody says so. We won't know, but there's a lot of speculation that he just made Herm Edwards look like a Class A1 clown, and now that's something else that ASU has to deal with. Or Herm was fully aware of what was going on, possibly even encouraged the move because he knows what's coming next. So until we know more, we don't know nothing. So all we can do is speculate. Jet says Arizona State's football record the past 5 years tells me it's been in disarray for a while. Yeah, I don't even care. As long as we beat the tail off of those kiddies down south, the rest of it, yeah, okay. I'm not going to argue with you on it. But the fact that we continually beat Arizona like a drum, I'm happy about it.
And I wouldn't even say this last season is an indication of disarray. They had high goals and they didn't meet them, but that's not disarray. I mean, if you've seen a program fall apart, literally fall apart, or a program that can't ever get started, like, Vanderbilt football or something like that, that's disarray. ASU is not in disarray right now.
Berg says, what would Dean Blandino do? Why do you keep bringing up Dean Blandino, Berg?
About what, Berg? You mean between the sheets?
He doesn't say.
Where the magic happens. Is that what you mean?
I really doubt there's any magic in between Dean Blandino sheets.
Oh.
That's what she said.
Yes. WWDBD. What would Dean Blandino do?
That's exactly right, Keon. I like you, Keon. You're going to go a long way. Speaking a long way.
Jesus.
Dean Blandino out.
Thank God. Fish Tank says the Dolphins have now signed Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain, and Wes Welker to the coaching staff. All these guys, former Pro Bowlers, all the Dolphins fans are super hyped. But my question is, can any of these guys coach?
Guess we're going to find out this coming September.
As a Dolphins fan, does that really matter?
Come on. Man.
Does it really?
Yeah,
Come on,
it
Fish
does.
Tank. It does matter, Fish Tank. It matters.
Because we saw what Brian Flores was able to do in the second half of last season. So it does matter if the guys can coach.
It's going to be okay, Fish Tank. You're all right, Fish Tank. I don't care.
Poor Fish Tank.
Yeah.
The Jet says, hey, I almost forgot. A week from today, I'll be at Mardi Gras. You guys are welcome to join. It's a group of really great Finns going and probably going to drink a lot. Well, we're going to be here throwing our beads at you guys on the radio instead.
Yeah.
Please don't send pictures. Please don't send pictures. 888-368-1580. That is the text line. And Senior Wake and Bake thinks it's the Koreans messing with our line, not the Chinese, not the Russians.
Could be.
And Uklamak says, happy Friday, Randy and Keon, and whatever, Radio Pal. So, and Cowboy Sparky says, He doesn't want Dean Blandino. He wants Dusty Rhodes. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The American dream.
Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cubs spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at chicagofestwest.com today.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. That's 800-438-8173.
ADOT presents Terrifying Jobs.
Bull Rider, take 2.
Today we're talking with Clifford Maxwell, a rodeo bullfighter. His job? Distract raging bulls from going after thrown riders. Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked off.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah. Distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by ADOT, and this station.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canyer with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
and K240 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Randy, people are asking for more Dusty Rhodes. In fact, the idea has been presented that maybe Dusty Rhodes should do a weather forecast for the Daytona 500 and for this crazy week of weather that it looks like we're going to have here in Arizona as well. So whoever, whatever, whenever, we should probably get that done, especially since the Daytona 500 is on Sunday.
So perhaps we should do it right now then, huh?
Let's do it.
From the 1580, the weather center, this is the Dusty All-American Dream Rhodes coming at you live and direct from the radio station. 72 degrees outside, beautiful skies, some clouds. We'll get back to Phoenix in a minute. Let me get over here on Randy's high-tech weather instruments, and let's see what it's going to be in Daytona this week. I hope the music lasts that long. Let's see here. There's Kahlua. Nope, that's Charlotte. Oh, Daytona Beach. Oh, it's going to be absolute beautiful on Sunday. 55, the overnight low, 72. And there's lots of those sunshines that are going to be glowing up in the sky. In that beautiful Daytona sky where the NASCARs run. And the NASCARs will go around there 198 miles an hour. And then that's going to be somebody try to throw it down towards the end there. And the American Dream is going to pick them up like this and throw them on the ground. And it's all she wrote from there. What was I doing? American Dream out.
I'm thinking maybe the late Dusty Rhodes shouldn't do weather again. Maybe that was not the right idea. I appreciate the idea, but yeah, it's probably not a strong
didn't
point.
like that, huh?
It's probably not his strong point there. In a little bit, though, we are going to have the race set up with Randy White. We're going to talk about the Daytona 500 and figure out about all the new cars and what this whole thing is about. I'm still a tad bit confused. We'll figure this out here in just a little bit. Right now, though, as we head into the final few days of the Winter Olympics, I know you're hearing those Winter Olympic updates after a short pause. We'll see how we're doing in Beijing. So right now, as it stands, we have 8 gold, 8 silver, and 5 bronze. And I'll tell you what, Norway is killing it. The Norwegians are
Norwegians.
Agree, disagree. It's Norwegish or Norwegish.
Norwegians.
The Norwegish people have got 15 gold, 8 silver, and 11 bronze. Last night, of course, USA took on Canada in the men's curling bronze medal game. I don't know. Did they win? I don't know if they won or not.
I don't know.
All my time zones are off when it comes to this.
I was asleep.
I know yesterday morning, speed skater Brittany Bowe won a bronze in the women's 1,000 meters. She's the current world record holder.
Excellent.
So third place is kind of disappointing for her, but it's her first Olympic medal of her career. So I guess that was nice. But yeah, Norwayish people are just killing it.
Norwegian.
The dopes are they're getting a lot of medals too. A lot of bronze for the dopes. I'm sorry, the Russians. The dopers.
Okay.
Okay. That makes sense.
The Germans have 10 gold, 7 silver, and 5 bronze. We are very happy to be here.
Damn.
Yeah, they're very intense people. Canada is doing okay.
How about that?
4 gold, 7 silver, 13 bronze. Last time I looked. Oh, see, son of a bitch. Just got word from FedFan. Men's curling lost to Canada.
How does that happen? How does that happen? Last year or last Olympics or whenever the hell it was, 7 years ago, 40. When did they have the Olympics? Every 9 years? What is it? 2 years? 6? What? Anyway, we won. We won gold.
It's very disappointing. Very disappointing that a drinking game is something we can't beat the Canadians at. So
yep.
This is not really it's not really been a great Olympics for the United States.
No, it hasn't. But to give credit to the Canadians, they can put their share of beers away. They can drink the beer pretty well.
Sure, I'm not saying they can't drink. I'm just saying we excel at the drinking games.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So anyway, so that's what's going on there with the stupid Olympics. The stupid USFL had their draft yesterday. Can I tell you how sad the USFL has started out? It's already sad because it's the USFL. What was really sad about this is all these coaches are all the wretched refuse of the coaching world. And then that's sad enough. But then I'm watching my favorite show before this show. I was sitting there watching.
Did you say that the coaches in the USFL are wretched refuse?
Yes, I did. Jeff Fisher. Go look at the list. We've talked about this before.
Anyways, refuse.
Let me come back to what I'm saying. So I'm watching the show I like to watch as I get ready for this show. It's called Speak for Yourself. Marcellus Wiley and Emmanuel Acho. And they're very entertaining and smart guys. I like to watch it. Hey, so I'm sitting there kind of doing my own thing, and I look up, and there's suddenly and this is not even what they led the show with. They are doing the USFL draft order picks. They had a machine with the ping pong balls, and they were sitting there talking about the coaches and the teams. And I'm just like, Wow. The USFL can't get their own draft order show by itself. It has to be in the C block of an afternoon sports show on basic cable. I was astounded at this. I mean, it wasn't even like the focus of the show. It just suddenly there they are standing there doing this thing. It was very, very sad. And yeah. So Jeff Fisher's team gets the first pick of the wretched refuse of whatever football players are left out there to play in the USFL. Have you guys even paid attention to any of this? Because I'm not going to.
USFL? No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bet on it. I'm not gonna watch it. Don't ask me to play fantasy USFL football for it. I'm out. Done. Zilch.
I mean, I might have to turn to the fantasy USFL if baseball doesn't get their act together.
Resist, Keon.
Fantasy baseball is what I do in the summer. Okay, anyway.
You got basketball, play fantasy basketball.
It's true. I mean, do they let you in mid-season?
I'm sure they have some sort of like weekly games you can jump
That's
in.
fine.
Why weren't you already on
the daily fantasy?
Well, he was
shame
doing
on
something.
you.
He was just moving across country to
Well,
join
he's
us.
supposed to be the smart sports guy on this show. He's supposed to be the knowledgeable one, and he should have seen the lockout coming a mile away, and he should have already been on a site doing fantasy basketball just to take the place. Was it you were being forever hopeful, or were you negligent, Keon?
I was being forever hopeful.
I call that.
I didn't think that we were going to be getting to a point where there might not be a season. I thought maybe we'll have some, we'll cut it close. It'll be a tough negotiation, but ultimately, common sense and the fact that everybody's making money hand over fist will win out. I didn't think that we were going to get to this point in the negotiations where we were missing parts of spring training, potentially going to miss the whole thing. And then whatever chunk of the season we wind up missing. No, I didn't think that.
All right, real talk on this one. Okay, Randy, I'm going to probably ask you every day. I'm going to need a consensus on a percentage of will the season start on March 5th. Right now, as things are, what are you looking at? 50-50, 70-30 for the season to start.
The regular season or spring training?
They have spring training.
Spring training will not start on time. No, it will not start on March 5th. No.
Okay. I would say that's not on time. They delayed it to March 5th.
Right. It's not going to start on time. So we already know that. And will it start by March 5th? I'm going to give you 75% chance it will not.
75% chance. What are you going to give it the chances that it'll start in April?
Well, the regular season.
Anything preseason. Well, I know there has to be a preseason.
Regular season starts March 31st, I think, of the first games. And right now, I would say there's a 25% chance that it will not start on time.
Okay, because when I ask you different dates, I'm not discounting the idea there has to be some sort of abbreviated preseason. So if not March 5th, not April 5th. Okay, if not April 5th, what about May 5th? And I know it's too hard to tell going out, so I'll just ask you every day, hey, what are the chances we're going to get baseball on?
Why don't you ask me each week? Because the way these guys meet, sometimes it's only once a week. Sometimes
you were saying they're meeting every day now.
Well, there's been talk. Some of the people, some of the insiders, I use air quotes here, some of the insiders are saying there's a very good possibility that the owners and the union are going to meet face to face for a set amount of days next week. And we can only hope that's the case to try to get these things ironed out, because clearly one time they didn't even meet for a whole month. It was like a whole month after the lockout happened. Union and owners did not get together for a month. So you just don't know what these
power moves. Yeah, I guess so. All right. Well, then I'll ask you every now and then. I was really hoping that we could get sort of a gauge on percentages and see what kind of hope we have, because otherwise half your lefties right. Keon, you're just going to play some fantasy golf.
Might happen. Might
happen. Play fantasy NASCAR.
That true. Might also happen. I got to fill the void somehow.
They got races every weekend there. That'll get you through. Big George says, yeah, I watched the bronze medal match between USA and Canada. We lost to Canada on the curling, made a big mistake in the ninth end, allowing Canada to score 3 stones in the house. Killed us. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either. For as much curling as I've watched, which is
3 stones in the house. Come on.
It's very cathartic to watch for whatever reason. I actually haven't paid close enough attention to know any of the rules or how you win. I don't know.
It's like those videos where they pop bubble wrap. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. Blissful Hayes says it's been very difficult to roll a curling iron down the lane.
Because
I think that's what that is.
Cord gets stuck here, and then you got that thing that holds the, that scissor thing.
Crock pot. It's not a curling iron.
Oh, is that what it is?
Crock pot.
It's crock pot? No. Yeah. Well, the cord still. Yeah.
King Kitten says, well, since I recently became unemployed, I cut the cable, reduced the technology bills, installed a AM FM television antenna. I only watch 5 channels. I get 75 channels with the antenna, but I only watch 5. USFL is going to be on NBC and Fox, so that's 2 of the 5 channels I might be watching. So it looks like King Kittens has just become our USFL correspondent.
There you go, King of Kittens. Way to go. Way to pick up that extra work.
If anything interesting happens, King of Kittens, just text it on in here. It's an internship, Randy. We have no money. The Jet says, I'd get stoned if I had to play curling. Hefty Lefty says, Major League Soccer is going to start soon, too. You won't even have to start mid-season there, Keon.
Do they have fantasy soccer? How does that work?
I'm sure they do.
I have a fantasy that soccer was interesting. So, listen, I'm not a Bears fan by any means, but
you're not.
I did enjoy when the Colts whooped their asses in the Super Bowl that year. When Brian Urlacher was on the Bears there, and it was nice to see a tough man cry. But I got to have respect for Dick Butkus. 1, for going through life with that name. 2, seemed like a pretty good guy, pretty funny guy. And now for this, he just tweeted this out the other day, I guess clarifying a few things. Said, for all of you who asked, I am not the reason Shailene Woodley and Aaron Rodgers have broken up. Just want to set the record straight before the speculation gets out of hand.
I'm surprised he can tweet with those big giant sausage fingers of his.
79 years old, and he's more technologically advanced than Bruce Jacobs. Fed Fan says women's USA hockey lost to Canada too in the gold medal match. Yeah, it's
just a lot of losing to the Canadians lately.
Yeah,
does not sit well with me.
It's because all that Canadian corruption. Fed Fan, thank you. Fish Tank says, I recommend some betting on golf there, Keon. I got Cameron King at $5 that I can cash out for 36 right now. Sometimes the fun is deciding if you should cash out or ride out. I'll tell you what, if I'm not sure, and they offer, like, I had a big parlay that was set up to win like 250. They offered me a cash out of like $45, and I was like, click. And I was right. So you might want to think about that, Fish Tank. But the other thing is the excitement of saying, okay, if they think I should cash out because they're worried they may lose, makes you want to kind of hang in there, doesn't it?
That's true. But it's how they get you, but it's also part of the fun. It's weighing those two things against each other. Am I being a sucker right now, or could I actually win this? And it's always that tightrope you're walking.
I rolled the dice once. Now you're asking me to roll the dice again. And yeah, it does make it fun and profitable if you know when to hold them and know when to fold them. 888-368-1580. So I went back and I watched the video. Matthew Stafford watching that photographer lady fall off the stage. And that's a hard one to defend. I'm still going to stick with drunk off his ass, not quite sure what he saw, but he made a face like, ooh. He's like, oh, he probably was going to turn around like, wow, boy, somebody better help her. But his wife was like jumped off the stage to help her. Like she was actually trying to help her. But yeah, it looked way worse than I thought it was.
The problem is with Matthew Stafford's face, with those eyes that he has, you can't tell to begin with how drunk he is.
Oh, he's super drunk.
Yeah, but you know he is. You know he has to be. But yeah, if he's that drunk, then I know it looks bad, but I don't know what you expect him to do.
Well, the same thing his wife did. Go over and be like, oh my God, are you okay? And even jump off the stage to give her or motion over some people. He just went, nope.
Maybe she wasn't as drunk as he was, though. I mean, because if he's just hammered off his ass, then
well, yeah. I mean, that's what I was going to say. If he's loaded, A, I don't think he could find the edge of the stage. B, he probably couldn't jump down because he probably wouldn't be able to get back up.
Well, luckily, the photographer seems to be doing okay, considering she has a fractured spine, but she's going to be okay. And the Rams and the Staffords are covering her medical expenses, replacing her broken camera. A friend of Kelly's had previously set up a GoFundMe account for her, but now everything's covered. I don't know what they're going to do with the money if she keeps it, or they
probably just give it to her,
give it to charity or whatnot. But so yeah, they're making good on it. They're making right. And the only thing I could say is, who knows how drunk the brain was? Maybe it did register. At first, I thought maybe he didn't even understand what he saw. Oh, it's clear he understood what he saw. Then he's like, hey, maybe just something I can look at over here instead. So yeah, it's not a good optic, but let's just chalk that up to drunkenness and remember all the good things he has ever done. And here comes from Hefty Lefty. Yeah, he was going full frat Stafford at the parade.
Somebody said that was actually his second best no-look pass of the week.
Oh, that was good. Baby Got Dax says, happy Friday, guys. Hang in there, fish tank. I'm stuck with Jabba the Hutt, a.k.a. Mike McCarthy. King of Kittens says, yeah, Fed fan, when Big George was talking about the Olympics, I thought, too, he was mentioning the ladies' hockey. And then he says, I like his wife. I like all wives. The hell? How much is King of Kittens drinking now? The Jet says, let's be real. We're all manly beef-eating men, and we're all going to watch the XFL. Wait a second. The XFL's coming back this spring, too?
Not this
spring.
No,
I don't think so. No.
Sorry, Jet. Not watching the USFL, not watching the XFL. I can't bring myself to do it because like 3 different spring football leagues in a row, they all failed. And every time I was like, all right, I'll give it a chance. Where to go? All right, I'll give it a go. Where the hell did that one go? I'm not doing it. Not falling for it.
I once upon a time had to cover Tennessee high school football, and you get to some of those big schools and these games, and oh my God, they're amazing. And then you go to some of the 1A schools. You're out in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee watching 2 small schools get together. And I can just tell you right now, all football ain't good football. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's the NFL, and then there's everybody else.
Yup. And I'm going to pass. But listen, there's plenty of other stuff to watch and talk about. In fact, we come back. It's time for the race setup with Randy White here on the Daily Blender, 1580 The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2022 Winter Games sponsored by Angie. Angie takes your home projects from start to finish. Get started at Angie.com. The gold medal game is officially set in men's ice hockey. ROC defeated Sweden in a shootout this morning 2-1. So the Russian Olympic Committee advances to play Finland, which shut out Slovakia 2-0. The Finns will be playing in the gold medal game for the first time in 16 years. That means Sweden and Slovakia play for bronze. It was a disappointing finish for the U.S. men's curling team, which will be coming home empty-handed after losing to Canada in the bronze medal game 8-5. And figure skating's mixed pairs short program wrapped up this morning. Gold medal favorites Shui and Han of China are currently in first place. Americans Alexa Knierim and Brandon Frazier are in 6th. Teammates Ashley Kane-Gribble and Timothy LeDuc are 7th, heading into tomorrow's mixed pairs free program. With this Winter Games update, I'm Erica Herskowitz, Westwood One Sports.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA member FDIC.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have 1 or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb.
Is there anything better than the sound of 3 races breathing life into a new NASCAR season? What about if it's at a state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one-of-its-kind hillside? Well, then, you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets today at phoenixraceway.com.
The dictionary describes madness as
Frenzy, rage, intense excitement. Yeah, that sounds about right.
we define it like this.
There's the pass to Leitner.
Puts it up. The chance is through for the win.
The madness is coming. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The home for March Madness.
It's David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, coming up on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Got the Daytona 500 right here for your ear hole. That's right, 500 miles of nothing but racing around the streets of Daytona. That's right. It's a crazy.
No.
What?
No. It's on a track, a 2.5 mile track.
I thought this was just out
It's
through
not
the
a road
streets
race.
and stuff.
No. It's on a track, not far from the original spot where they race these cars on a beach. It's on a track.
All
They
right.
go fast and turn left.
All right, so it's a Daytona 500.
Daytona 500. Yeah.
Screaming through hoops of fire and
No,
going
no,
leaps
no.
over barrel. What?
No.
All right, well, maybe it's a good time for the race setup with Randy White, powered by Phoenix Raceway. Let's talk about this Daytona 500. Get us all ready for it, Randy, and educate us in the ways of the Daytona 500, which is known as the Super Bowl of NASCAR. I'm curious why.
Well,
I've yet to understand this.
I mean, you could call it the Super Bowl of NASCAR. A lot of guys that are involved in the industry call it that, but it's a very prestigious race, the most prestigious race in the circuit's 36 race tour each season. Daytona, the race that everybody wants to get. First of all, it's the number one race out of the chute. It's a high speed race at a high speed facility. But I think it goes back to the tradition. NASCAR was not formed. Some people might think NASCAR was formed in North Carolina. That's so far from the truth. It was actually formed atop a high-rise hotel lounge in a lounge. Bill France Sr. got together with some businessmen and they formed NASCAR back in the 1940s. In the 1950s, they began racing these jalopies on the sandy beach at Daytona Beach itself on the sand. They had like a course laid out, and these guys would go out there and race. And so Lee Petty and some of these Hall of Famers that you've heard about, they raced on the sand, and then it moved to the 2.5 mile racetrack that they'll be on this coming weekend. So I think that's why it's a very prestigious race and a lot of tradition.
Okay, so what makes the race and other races? Is it the chute that you mentioned earlier, the chutes that they come out of? Is it gravity induced, or the rockets that blow the cars out of the chutes?
No, you keep thinking about Matchbox cars. No. If I said coming out of the chutes, it's the first race of the season, right out of the gate. So they're not coming out of any gates. They're not being shot out of any cannons. They're not having any shots for a chute or some sort of a rev up thing. No. These guys get there. It culminates the end of Speed Weeks. Speed Weeks is usually a traditional set of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks in February, and it starts off with the 24 hours of Daytona. So the Le Mans cars, they go out there and race a race. There used to be, I don't know if there still is, there used to be a motocross that would take place, motorcycles out there, and then the last race would be the Daytona 500. Of course, leading up to that, there are many events, like there's pole day, where everybody gets a run. And if you're one of the top 10 fastest cars, you then have a shot to run for the pole position or the outside pole position. Those are the only two positions set during pole day, inside and outside pole. And so that happened earlier this week. Alex Bowman is on the pole for this year's 2022 Daytona 500. Then you have 2 races that are they're called the Gatorade Twins, meaning they're 2 125-mile races to determine the first race is the inside row of cars. And then the second race is the outside row of cars. That's how you set the field for this Sunday's race. Only 40 cars will race. 2 cars had to go home. They had 42 entrants. So J.J. Yaley and, I can't think of who, Timmy Hill maybe, had to go home this year. So the field has been set as of Thursday night.
Okay, so I saw something that popped up. I guess NASCAR took some wheels from Team Penske and RFK Racing. Why would they take their wheels? Aren't they going to need those to race?
Well, they have a NASCAR will do that. They will come through the field and they will take things at random. It doesn't really matter. They might have somebody saying something about a team that might be trying to get an edge or quote unquote cheating to try to win. So NASCAR will impound those and take a good look at the wheels. These teams are always looking to get the car to go faster. And when I say faster, I don't mean by miles an hour. I mean by thousandths of a second faster, because that could determine the win or the loss at Daytona. So they probably took these wheels to take a look at them. Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. It's not a new team. Brad Keselowski left Roger Penske last year. He became part owner, and he's driving the number 6 Roush Fenway Keselowski Ford in the race this year. So they probably wanted to look at those wheels, see how they perform. This is a brand new car too, by the way, Jeffrey.
Yeah, what new about the car? Right, they're different. You keep talking about how that they're not the same NASCARs as before.
Well, even last year, the cars that they ran last year, they're gone. They won't be used anymore. These cars have been designed over the last couple of years by NASCAR, by their engineering department and their R&D department, their research and development department, and they're made to look like the stock cars that you see on the street. Something you can go to your a Toyota Camry, you drive that around, or a Ford Mustang or a Chevrolet Camaro. These cars are designed to look more like that, so that will bring an interest for people that are driving these cars around. That was the thing back in the day. These guys were using street cars that they were using every day to go to their, Monday through Friday jobs, and then they would bring them to the track and race them. So that's how NASCAR got its start. So they wanted to kind of get back to those roots. There's a lot of technological changes. There's bigger tires, bigger wheels. There used to be a 15-inch wheel and a tire that would fit that. They had a much smaller braking system. They've gone this year to an 18-inch wheel and a larger braking system to help these cars get wound down. A lot of aerodynamic changes, and also the engines too. That's something that's different. Last year, we were running 2 different engine packages at different tracks. One was a 550 horsepower. The other was a 750 horsepower. Now at all tracks except for Daytona, and I'm still looking up to see what the horsepower is on these Daytona motors, but most all tracks, road courses, short tracks, the 1.5 mile courses, they will all be 650 horsepower engines across the board.
All right, I got a couple of questions here on the text line. Lost Toby, well, he just says, there goes my bet on JJ, 10 cents to 1,000. Oh, well.
Sorry.
Cowboy Sparky says, the midget RV racing, is that before or after the Daytona 500?
No, that happens at the fairgrounds in Arkansas right after the pig slaughter. So you got the pig slaughter, then you got the midget RV racing.
Gotcha. Big Kev had commented earlier about Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing getting off to a big start in their new era. Yeah. What's new about their era? I don't understand that.
Well, you remember a couple of weeks ago before the Super Bowl, we had a sort of a preseason race. It was called the Clash at the Coliseum. And as I explained to you already, Brad Keselowski, who was with Penske Motorsports for, 15 years, he left to buy in ownership of Roush Fenway Racing. So Jack Roush, a longtime car builder and brilliant aerodynamist and automobile expert, and the Fenway Sports Group, they had joined forces many years ago. Now they brought in Brad Keselowski, who's been a champion at the Cup Series. He's coming in. He's going to be a part owner, but he's also driving the number 6 car. And he's brought a lot of wisdom, a lot of technology along with him. And of course, a lot of winning, because Roush Fenway they were just not cutting it. But it looks like 2 weeks ago, they were going to be a flop. They had an absolutely horrible race. When they came to Daytona, one Roush Fenway Keselowski car won. dual number one, which was Brad Keselowski. So he'll be starting inside row number 2. And then Chris Buescher in the 17 car, which is the other RFK car, will be starting outside of row 2, which is very important when you get into this plate racing that they're doing at Daytona, because you want your teammates around you to help you, maneuver traffic and to get a push where you need, and to help your other teammate get you to the end of the race and kind of keep you safe.
So you got to be kind of a Chris Buescher fan a little bit, since he tried to wreck Joey Logano, right?
Well, he didn't. I watched the race.
There was contact, Randy.
There was contact, but it wasn't Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher tried to avoid it, but I will keep my personal comments out of it. But the 22 came down trying to block, and he was late. And what happened was he got into the very front of the Buescher car, turned him around, ended up pointing him, the 22 car, right into the fence, and took him out of the race. So his primary race car, which is very important too, Jeffrey, his primary race car is now junk. He's going to have to unload the backup car, and it doesn't matter where he came in the race. He'll start from the back because he had to go to his backup car.
Oh, so that's the rule. If something happens to your car, no matter where you were to start, now you got to start from the back.
If you make any changes on the car that are not authorized by NASCAR, you have to change an engine. You have to change a radiator.
A wreck isn't a change. A wreck is a wreck.
You ruined the car that you were qualifying. So now, by rule, you've got to start from the back of the field.
All right, fair enough. I guess rules is rules. Lost Toby says, "Let's go, BJ McLeod. Dollar
BJ
gives me
McLeod.
1,000. I could use the McLeod of money." He says.
Well, I will tell you this: at Daytona or Talladega, some of these super speedways, you really don't have a favorite. I mean, you can kind of estimate who's going to run well. Some of these big teams are going to run well. They've got all the engineers, they've got all the resources, but you just don't know who's going to end up winning. Case in point, last lap of last season's Daytona 500, Joey Logano was in the lead. Brad Keselowski, at that time, was his teammate, was running second, and third and fourth and fifth and on back. Well, what happened was Michael McDonald, who has not won a NASCAR Cup race, who's been racing for many years. Michael McDonald was very fortuitous that once again, the 22 car got very selfish trying to block the 6 car. They both went into the wall. Michael McDowell went in and won the Daytona 500. So you just can't, you don't know who's going to win.
Cowboy Sparky says, question for Randy. Why do race fans not like this Joey Logano guy?
Well, I think a lot of times the guy, I can't speak for everybody else, but it seems to me the guy is very selfish. He's
a selfish lover.
Well, I don't know about him. I don't know.
You mean racing?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, not in the sack.
Yeah.
So he's very selfish. He comes from a well-to-do family. He has alienated himself by his stance on some of his on-track moves. He feels like he's never wrong, and so that's why a lot of NASCAR fans just don't like the guy. You know, he just never accepts any responsibility for anything.
So Cowboy Sparky also wants to know why didn't people like Jeff Gordon? It seems like a lot of people didn't like him.
You either liked Jeff Gordon or you hated him. There were two camps there. There was the 3 car, which was Dale Earnhardt Sr., and then there was the 24 car, which was the Rainbow Warriors. They had the paint sponsorship on there for many years, and there was this young kid out of California, this hot shoe that was coming up the ranks, got into this car and just started winning everything. And he was beating Dale Earnhardt Sr. And he, as a matter of fact, one year, Dale Earnhardt Sr., his last championship, Jeff Gordon almost beat him out of that championship. And it wasn't until a fortuitous end for Dale Earnhardt Sr. that he ended up winning the championship. But the backstory of this thing was this kid came in, Dale Earnhardt Sr., which he did with a lot of people. He's known as the Intimidator. On the track, he would move you out of the way to get a win. But off the track, he helped many drivers. And Jeff Gordon and he got together, and they were very good friends. They were business partners together. They did a lot of things together. So you either, but on the track, you either like the Intimidator, that black and silver kind of intimidating look, or you liked Jeff Gordon, that California kid with that beautiful blue car, had sort of those bright rainbow colors, the bright 24 on it. Kid had the look, he had the haircut, he had everything. So
who did you prefer?
Well, my son was a Jeff Gordon fan. I kind of vacillated between the two. I liked Dale Earnhardt Sr. quite a bit. I liked the way he raced. I liked his aggressive style. I liked the way he carried himself. But Jeff Gordon was a hell of a race car driver. I don't. You throw the rainbows out, you throw the looks out. This kid could wheel a car, and I really appreciated that.
So with these new cars, what I haven't heard is, what is your opinion of them? Do you like them? Are you good with this?
So
you
far,
gonna miss the old ones?
Well, so far I do like them because I think these cars are more sturdy. They drive much better. They had in the old cars, they had the old gear and box steering column, so it was very hard to wheel these things around. They had in the rear end, it was that solid axle. It wasn't independent rear suspension, so it was like driving a tank sometimes. And now they've got in this new car independent rear suspension. They've got rack and pinion steering, which is much easier for them to wheel the car around, much more maneuverable. They've got a little more powerful engine in them. These cars are made to take some punishment. So instead of bumping into the side once or twice, you're not going to wreck the whole side because it's just sheet metal. These are carbon fiber bodies, and they're made to take some punishment. And if you saw last night, Logano going head first into the wall there, it was just really the front of his car got torn up. If that would have been last year's car, I mean, that thing would have been mashed up pretty bad.
So I made 5 bets, Randy, $1 each on the Daytona 500.
All right, let me hear it.
So I've got Kevin Harvick, $1 gets me 19.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Bubba Wallace, $1 gets me 21.
Pretty good pick.
Denny Hamlin, $1 gets me $9.50.
$3. He's a 3-time champ.
Then I got Michael McDowell. He's a long shot. $1 gets me $61.
Yeah.
And Cole Custer, just because I like his name, $1 gets me 51.
Yeah.
So
I think those are good picks.
Who are you going to bet on?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm kind of looking at the Fords, and if you look over the past several races there at Daytona, it's been Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski. You've seen the Ford drivers up at the front, unless it's Denny Hamlin out there in the lead. So I think I'm going to go to the Ford camp. I don't know exactly who I'm going to put my money on yet, but last night in one of the duels, Michael McDowell was up there again in that 38 Loves truck stop car. So he could repeat. I mean, this could be like the Cinderella story of all Cinderella stories.
Hefty Lefty says independent rear suspension means it couldn't have been a 1964 Buick Skylark in metallic mint green paint. They must either be a Corvette or a Pontiac Tempest.
Well, no, it's a 2022 either Chevrolet Camaro ZLX1, whatever it is, 2022 Mustang by Ford, or a 2022 Camry by Toyota. That's what it is.
There's no way in hell anybody watches this race and goes, by gum, I need me a Camry.
You'd be surprised.
Nobody's buying a Toyota Camry.
You would be surprised, Jeffrey. You would be surprised. People buy their cars based upon their NASCAR heroes.
So glad Dodge isn't out there. We're going to take a break. We come back, more of the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Have you started your New Year resolution to lose weight you put on last year? This is Stephen McCollum, host of The Main Event here on The Fanatic. If you're like me, it's hard to start your New Year's resolution to lose those unwanted pounds while we're having football playoff parties every weekend. I'm a client with Valley Medical Weight Loss, so I know firsthand that it really works. I get it. There's too much going on to lose the weight you've been saying you're going to lose. But visit one of their 3 Valley locations to find out how fast the visit is and how affordable it is. They take walk-ins, and if you mention The Fanatic or Money Radio, your first week is free at Valley Medical Weight Loss.
1580 The Fanatic is giving you the chance to experience Innings Festival, the ultimate 2-day spring training music and baseball celebration at Tempe Beach Park on February 26th and 27th. You'll see Tame Impala, St. Vincent, The War on Drugs, Billy Strings, and the Foo Fighters. Plus, meet over a dozen baseball legends, including Roger Clemens, Dave Stewart, and Rick Sutcliffe. Listen for your chance to win tickets good for both days. Innings Festival returns February 26th and 27th. Visit inningsfestival.com to view the full lineup and grab your tickets today.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
It's time to spread game. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming with an all-new tour. 4 quarters of big plays, ankle-breaking moves, and ball-handling wizardry. Do they dunk? Do they dunk? See the stars rattle the rim in the all-new in-game dunk contest. This is the team everyone can cheer for. The Spread Game Tour is coming. Playing in Phoenix and Glendale on March 5th and 6th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender here on this Friday, February 18th. Beautiful skies outside and about 70 degrees. Going to be a beautiful weekend. It's a great weekend to get out. Maybe go down to the park, play a little basketball. Remember we used to do that, Jeff? Go down to the park and take your ball, and your buddies are out there. You play little hoops.
Oh, yeah.
Well, college basketball is here, and FanDuel Sportsbook's got an offer you don't want to miss either. Right now, new customers can place their first college basketball bet risk-free. And if you don't win, you'll get up to $1,000 back. Take a chance at a same-game parlay bet. Build yourself a bet that's started with, I don't know, maybe Duke's going to win, but Duke's going to win by this amount. Duke's player X is going to win. He's going to make so many points. We're going to have these many rebounds. And, you can build your own parlay bet the way you want to. You can jump into the action with live betting, too. You see that little live icon there. You jump in there, and they'll show you the kind of bets that are happening in activity as the game goes on. Or bet with big promotions like Odds Boosts. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now's the perfect time to give it a shot. The app is so dadgum easy to use. They're always hooking you up with great odds, and when you win, you get paid very quickly. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today. And sign up with promo code Randy1580 to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. That's Randy1580. Got to be 21 or older and present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
888-368-1580. So I guess, Randy, that's a reference to independent rear suspension means it couldn't have been a 64 Buick Skylark in metallic mint green paint. Must be a Corvette or a Pontiac Tempest. It turns out that was a reference to my cousin Vinny. That's a deep dive, Hefty Lefty, especially for a guy
about that, Hefty Lefty.
as young as you are yourself. Number one Rattlers fan says, "Oh yeah, that was my cousin Vinny right there." He says, "By the way, I'm going to be at the ASU game tomorrow. Thanks, 1580. My buddy won tickets listening to the morning show. You're slowly becoming my favorite radio station."
Well, what could speed that process up?
What's this becoming crap?
What does it take to put you over the top? What?
Rip
I mean,
the knob
we do.
off.
We do present your Arizona Rattlers live and in full color.
Yeah, right there. I mean, right there by itself, number one Rattlers fan. What are you holding out for? A hat and a T-shirt?
The only radio station with the Rattlers. You would think that number one Rattlers fan would be.
Well, there's that Haitian-speaking station that does carry Rattler games, but you can't understand it.
Haitians.
No,
I mean, not unless you speak the Creole. Then
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to know Creole, and not a lot of people do. I'm pretty sure number one Rattlers fan doesn't. But it doesn't matter. We should just be your favorite damn station.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Big George says, I don't think Randy got that about my cousin Vinny. That was funny, Hefty Lefty. Probably my favorite lawyer movie of all time.
I'll have to look it up and see if I can watch that.
Name the judge without Googling it. I dare you. Do you know his name?
Big George, the judge?
Yeah. Big George is a challenge. No Googling. The actual name of the actor who is the judge. He said, Utes. What are these Utes you're talking about? Lacrosse guy says, love you guys, but that was a whole lot of redneck car. It wasn't that much redneck car. Listen, I'm learning about the NASCAR. I'm glad to hear about what's going on. This is an important race this weekend.
And not only that, but we're getting into the sports betting. We're trying to learn. NASCAR is a really fun sport to bet. That's what people tell me. So I'm trying to learn myself and get into it too.
It makes it even more exciting. And I tell you what, you're right, Keon. This is the kind of thing now. I got some skin in the game. I'm going to be watching this race. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, you have to wait. The last 100 miles of this race is absolutely epic. The strategy that goes on, and the last 10 laps, these guys drive with their hair on fire. It's just absolutely crazy.
Remember a couple of years ago, right? Because they had to delay the race to Monday, and we saw that horrific crash.
Oh,
right?
yeah, with
Ryan Newman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, we didn't know if he was going to make it.
Starting to, I guess, understand the age of our listeners because, man, the text line, it's not even a contest. I don't have a prize, but everybody's right. And Big George did get it. He says, that's easy. Fred Gwynn, Herman Munster, and then Ukle Lamont gets it. Blissful Hayes gets it. Swave Dave got it. Hitting the Nuts got it. Senior Wake and Bake even got it. And he's 7 sheets to the wind right there. King of Kittens says, I got a Fanatic t-shirt. I have never worn it. Well, then we want it back, King of Kittens.
Yeah.
So we can give it to somebody who will wear it.
Right.
Hefty Lefty says, he was an Addams family, right?
Munsters.
That was the Munsters. Yeah. Good Cat just showed me a picture of fish that he says, caught 3 of these bad boys on my lunch break today. What is that, a perch? Where are you fishing there? Tell us a type of fish and where is that? Looks like you're at Scottsdale Chaparral Lake? I see a building in the reflection. Now, I'm very curious, Good Cat, where you're throwing your line in the water. And he says, Randy, if the Mighty Antelopes have a kill call, do the Lumberjacks have a kill call? I know it.
Do you?
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
No, that's not a kill call. A kill call for a lumberjack would have to be some.
That's
I mean, I would think so.
Maybe
it
sound like
the
a
hell out of
chainsaw.
Wouldn't a lumberjack kill call be something involving the word timber? Before they,
well, it's kind of had that in there, but like,
yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah. For a tree just takes.
I
you
don't
out.
think I'm scared of that sound.
You're felling a tree. You fell a tree.
Yeah.
You don't have time to get timber out. You got.
I'm not really afraid of that. The antelope kill call for GCU is terrifying.
That's true.
People have texted in asking for mental health numbers after you do that call.
Oh yeah.
Just the
that's
NAU.
Why I use that sparingly.
Yeah, and that's no wonder NAU can't seem to do anything.
Well, look, man,
it's a horrible call.
It's a lumberjack. What kind of a predator is a lumberjack?
Well, if you're
if you're a tree,
yeah. That's terrifying.
Hi, I'm a pine tree. I'm scared. But they're playing, like cougars. And they're
think that's
playing,
what a cougar sounds like.
snakes and, all the sorts of, evil entities, demon dukes and all these kind. But a lumberjack, really?
So they'll be very effective against Stanford.
Of course, the Fighting Chalupa
Yeah,
of Arizona, the kill call for them is, please pull forward to the next window. Yeah. That's basically all they've got. Solid degree from down there gets you. Is that is a job. So,
do you like fries with that?
Yeah. Happy Lefty says Stanford wants nothing to do with NAU. Lost Toby says, I'll put y'all in my top 3 for a shirt. No, you make us your number 1 or forget it. You get nothing. Yeah, that's the rule. No more hats and t-shirts go to anybody that doesn't say we're not your favorite radio station. Okay. All right. Well, settle for second place. First or second place, or else you get no hat, no shirt.
I think that's fair. I think it's a very fair ask.
I mean, as long as you're your favorite sports station,
we got to get something out of this.
There's a lot of stations. Big George says Stanford better watch out when they play NAU. That lumberjack's going to chop down their tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about the only team that'll be afraid of that.
That's when that kill call really works for the lumberjack.
Big George says the district attorney and my cousin Vinny was the guy who played the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet of the New Adventures of Superman with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. Okay, I don't want to hear another damn word about my cousin Vinny.
I've heard of it. I've never watched it. I am so lost.
George, how did that help the show? Knowing that, I have no idea what you're talking about now. Uklo the Mock says the old Scottsdale Cougars don't sound like that, Randy.
The hell they don't.
Fighting Wampa says lumberjack is a huge predator. They're always walking around with wood. You know what they are? They're somebody who is a sexual offender. That's what I guess it is. They're walking around with wood all the time.
Did somebody call Dean Blandino again?
Oh dear God! Here we go.
Good Lord.
Why
say wood?
Why Fighting Wampa? Why? By the way, he wanted to know, hey, why don't we see anything from Lightning McQueen anymore in NASCAR?
Come on, man. Really?
King of Kittens has just promised that he says, I'll wear the t-shirt tomorrow. I might be painting. Dude, why
you want to get paint on that?
Why would you be so cruel?
On that collector's item, you want to get paint on that?
I was surprised you didn't wear it to the Phoenix Open.
Would you take the Super Bowl trophy out when you were painting and get paint all over it?
Why is King of Kittens being so hurtful right now?
I don't know. You get cat. Must be.
Swave Dave says, is the t-shirt a double X? I'll take it. Well, we got all kinds of sizes. We don't have just one. we have a bunch to
Wait, no, we don't have the blender one size fits all.
I had some blender t-shirts made up in the past. I do it again, but now we're talking about the ones I'm wearing right now. This one, the
Fanatic. I mean, Fanatic one size fits all.
She's on the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a smart looking shirt there, Jeff. Come.
Why? I
don't know why you'd wear that to paint.
Got to hurt us like that. That just seems.
Hey, would you take the? Would you take the world's greatest diamond out and put that on your paint rig while you're painting the house? I think not.
King Kittens, you've heard us. Pro Dog says, don't bet on Daytona or Talladega. One wreck can take out half the field.
No kidding.
That's why I'm only betting $1. I'm not.
I just feel like I know that the Chevrolets, the Hendrick cars have run very strong at Daytona. But that means nothing. It means absolutely nothing when it comes down to lap 499, mile 499 of 500 miles, and you're going for that checkered flag. I mean, I think it's going to be a Ford. I think it's probably going to be Logano or Keselowski or McDowell or somebody like that. Maybe even Chris Buescher.
Just a tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks for the NASCAR info, Randy. I've been a Ryan Blaney fan since he took over for Pearson and the Wood Brothers team. What do you see for Blaney in this upcoming season? He needs to win.
Well, I think this new car has been very good for Ryan Blaney, and I think he has a new attitude. I don't know if you've seen him. He shaved all that facial hair off, and he's got himself a lady friend. And so things are going good for Ryan. It's good to be Ryan Blaney these days. And by the way, that number 12 car for Penske, Racing looks pretty fast, so he could be somebody you might have want to put a couple of dollars on to win the 500.
Big Kev says, great analysis from Randy and why people hated Jeff Gordon. Probably was and still is his biggest fan. My bedroom as an adult is still covered with Gordon memorabilia from my childhood. The rest of my family disliked him. I was lucky to meet him 5 years ago. Picture with him is probably proudly framed in my bedroom with the rest of my memorabilia of his.
Good for you. Yeah.
Fed Fan says, I appreciate your t-shirt and hat. I've listened all these years. I have neither. Okay, we're getting Fed Fan a t-shirt and a hat. That's a done deal. Done deal, Fed Fan. I'm going to need your size for the shirt and the hat is one size fit all. But I'm going to take care of you. You're a Hall of Famer. We can't let that go by. Random Texture says, I already got my hat and t-shirt, so I can say that you're like my 80th favorite station, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Wow.
We should low jack those things so we can have like a thug go by the house and take it back from him.
Yeah.
All right, guys, must take break. We'll be back. Hour 3 of the Daily Blender is up next. It's 1580 to Fanatic.
Attention, this is a special alert for all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an overpriced auto warranty or no warranty coverage at all. Due to the increase of new and used car prices, repair costs, and the price of gas, people are keeping their cars longer than ever, which is why CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on covered auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can save thousands for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. You could save thousands on future auto repairs. Our specialists are standing by for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-605-1869. Vehicle Protection Plan pricing is at an all-time low. Plus, drivers who purchase this coverage today will receive rental car options, free roadside assistance, and free towing. Call 800-605-1869 now for your free quick quote. That's 800-605-1869. What do you have to lose? Call 800-605-1869. Again, 800-605-1869.
1580 The Fanatic is giving you the chance to experience Innings Festival, the ultimate 2-day spring training, music, and baseball celebration at Tempe Beach Park on February 26th and 27th. You'll see Tame Impala, St. Vincent, The War on Drugs, Philly Strings, and the Foo Fighters. Plus, meet over a dozen baseball legends, including Roger Clemens, Dave Stewart, and Rick Sutcliffe. Listen for your chance to win tickets good for both days. Innings Festival returns February 26th and 27th. Visit inningsfestival.com to view the full lineup and grab your tickets today.
Is there anything better than the sound of 3 races breathing life into a new NASCAR season? What about if it's at a state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one-of-its-kind hillside? Well then, you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets today at phoenixraceway.com.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour. All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside my heterosexual life partner, Randy White. Got Keon Rose pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Good Cat sent over a photograph of a fish that he caught, said he caught 3 of them during his lunch break. I was very excited. I couldn't really see the picture very well. It's kind of small on the screen, and at my first glance, I thought maybe it was a perch, but then now I've blown it up, and he's right. Yeah, he's got 3 largemouth bass.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, he says, my office building complex has 4 ponds behind it. It's in the Biltmore area. Oh, yeah. I remember a friend of mine used to work at a radio station that was right there, and I remember those ponds. So I had no idea those were stocked. That's amazing. Good for you, man. He says 1580 is my #1 preset in my car and the only radio app on my phone. Good man.
Fantastic. Good man.
There's a Hall of Famer right there. Fed Fan says, thanks for the offer of the shirt and hat, Jeffrey. I'll just wait till we can all get together and get that from you. Well, I will still need to know, just make sure I know before we do have that remote, your size on the t-shirt. So I make sure I reserve one just for you, a t-shirt and a hat. You, by God, you sure deserve it. Ukla the Mock says, where are these prize t-shirts and stuff? How do I get one? By not being a dick, Ukla. Hefty Lefty says, well,
shots fired.
Just saying.
Boom.
He says, my cousin Vinny turns 30 this year. All right, enough of the my cousin Vinny talk. I mean, I remember that movie. It was pretty good, but I don't know if it really stands up to the test of time. I mean, to give you an idea, Ralph Macchio still looked young in it.
Nothing says Friday show quite like about 2 segments worth of My Cousin Vinny. I still don't know what we're talking about.
You've never seen My Cousin Vinny?
I've never seen it. I've been told to watch it. I just haven't seen it.
Joe Pesci as you really have to suspend belief, a lawyer. Marissa Tomei as like a mobster wife, kind of a gal, but she's actually pretty brilliant. The dad from the Munsters as a judge, Ralph Macchio and some other guy I can't remember, as kids who get in trouble while on a trip. And then, of course, Joe Pesci has to go defend them in court. It becomes a courtroom drama, and it's fish out of water type stuff, Italian Joe Pesci. Hey, what's going on here? I object, that sort of thing.
Good God, I closed my eyes for a second. I thought that was Bruce.
I didn't mean to do that.
Wow.
So it's worth a watch. Absolutely. I'm thinking Hulu or
it'll be on one of
my TV. I don't know. It's a very old movie, but it's worth the watch. And that's where we first met Marissa Tomei, who, by the way, won an Oscar for that movie.
No kidding.
Yeah. You should have seen the reaction I just got from Keon. He's like, nothing you just described sounds like a movie that should have an Oscar.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm trying to put together in my head, but I now I have to watch it. I don't understand.
Yeah. She's the mom from Spider-Man, but that's her first role. So see what all the hubbub was about for Marissa Tomei with that. 888-368-1580. Fed Fan says, what if King of Kittens is wearing your logo t-shirt while defacing a building with graffiti paint? Just think, free advertisement for your show. I met King of Kittens, and I don't think he's the graffiti type. I'm pretty sure he's painting a back bedroom or something, but I wish he wouldn't, not in that shirt. Random Texter says, Jeffrey, why don't you finish my text about me saying I could say you're my 80th favorite radio station? Because I didn't get a chance. I thought I did, didn't I? He says, I already read that. Why are you saying I didn't read it? He says, but I will have to say you are my favorite radio station, so it doesn't work. Oh, yeah, I guess we ran out of time. I ran out of time on that. So he says, I'm hurt. He says, you just made me out to be a bad guy. Now maybe you're my 80th favorite radio station. God, it's going to be that kind of day, isn't it?
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Tail end of a full moon.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Explains the dog.
Last 2 nights has been a beautiful full moon.
Could be why the dog has just gone crazy on me.
And outside, there's been a full moon as well. All right.
Yeah. Blissful Hayes says, Keon never has static or connection issues. If I've been, mine's been clear for the rest of the show, hasn't
it? It's come and gone.
Oh, you don't tell me that often, so I don't know.
Well, when it happened, I put up the little pineapple symbol that I have on my phone. But it's fine right now.
Swave Dave says, I can't say you're my favorite radio station because I like to listen to music sometimes too. We appreciate that. He says, I try to never miss your show on my commute home. I've even picked you up when I've traveled. You guys are the best. You keep me in stitches most of the time. Well, thanks for that, Swave Dave. Sure appreciate that. And we know you will tune around to other radio stations and stuff, but by God, we're special and we have feelings. Those other radio stations, they don't have feelings like we do. So it hurts us when we find out that you cheat on us and you go around with these other radio stations. These other stations, they have no souls. These corporate juggernauts with coked out talent and people who kick puppies running and talking to you on their airways. We love puppies here. Yeah. And we have a soul. And we're not a corporate juggernaut like the other guys. We're not coked up either. No. There's a fair amount of whiskey involved. But by God, that's not illegal. That's American. Yeah. So just remember, every time you tune away from 1580 The Fanatic, it hurts us. We don't like to show our feelings. We're manly men. Oh, but God, we're not going to lie. It gets us right here. We wouldn't do that to you. Have you ever seen us change the station on you? No, we're always here. We're faithful on this side of the dial. Yeah, we're always here. Be nice if you could be too. But I understand, Sweep Dave. I understand. Senior Wake and Bake says, I'll take 4X shirt, Jeffrey, but only one with all you guys smiling. That way, when I wear it, I'll black your teeth out and write on there that you're my favorite show. You're my favorite hockey show. Well, our pictures aren't on the t-shirt, so nice try. Hefty Lefty says, I used to set 99.3 on every rental unit at my old job. You're welcome, random people out there. Appreciate that. That's awesome. I do the same thing. Even if I'm in another state, I'm like, nope, you're going to be hearing 1580 static. I don't give a crap. You might show up in Arizona with this car. You're going to hear this station. Fighting Wampa says, my cousin Mike turned 27 today. I love you, Mike.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mike. We love you too, but just we're not in love with you. Big George says, I think those big mouth bass are native to the Biltmore area. They've been there for thousands and thousands of years. By the way, 1580 The Fanatic is my #1 radio station. I'd love to have some bumper stickers I could sneakily put on people's bumpers at my local Vons parking lot in California. Okay, now, first off, we don't do bumper stickers because nobody uses bumper stickers. You never see them. And if anybody had a sticker, if we had stickers for the station, I'd say, don't put this on your paint. Put it in the window. Put it on the window. That way, someday, it's easier to peel that thing off if you're going to sell it or something. Just pro tip, I guess. #1 Rattlers fan says, if I can get a hat and a t-shirt, me and my buddy will wear them tomorrow at the ASU game. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to make that happen that fast. Sorry, buddy. Big Kev says, how do I get a shirt? I'm possibly your only East Coast listener. Listening to local Arizona sports talk is better than just hearing the national stuff on local sports radio here. I could just watch that stuff. It's mostly simulcast. Big Kev, I don't know. You're on the East Coast. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Maybe he could email his address. Sure. We could send something to him.
Yeah, I'm not mailing nothing. Hey, it costs more than the shirt to send it.
I tried to help, Big Kev.
Big Kev, you're going to have to visit eventually. You're going to have to come back. Ukla says, you're my favorite radio station. Just my 80th favorite radio pal. Thank you. Blissful Hayes says, the Blender crew in the fourth dimension kicks ass, takes names. Can I get a shirt now? Well, this is not a contest. We're not trying to give away shirts right now. Next time we do a remote broadcast, I about guarantee you hats and shirts will be given out to a bunch of people. Hefty Lefty says, I miss the old K-Rock bumper stickers. Rest in peace, K-Rock. Well, K-Rock was a California station. It wasn't even a
KROQ.
Right? Yeah. That was not here, right, Randy? That was LA, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that was LA. Yeah. There was a K-Rock station down in Tucson, though.
Yeah, but nobody cares about that. It's Tucson. Swave Dave says, if I can get a t-shirt, I'll suck my dogs on those puppy kicking other rat ass station.
Excuse me?
You really got to spell check these things.
Sick his dogs.
He'll sick his dogs on the puppy kicking hosts at the other rat's ass station, he says. Big Risk says, I need advice. I backed into somebody's car at work and made a pretty good sized dent. I don't think the cameras reached that lot and didn't do much to the car I was test driving. Should I come clean or hope I don't get caught? Big risk. Come on, man. Come clean.
You got to do the right thing.
You got to do the right thing on that. If it's a good sized dent, there's a good chance they can pop that thing back out. But you got to man up and you got to do the right thing. I like how the first thing he says is, I don't think the cameras reach that part a lot. Jagdog says, Jeffrey, you should make up new shirts and all proceeds go to Arizona Sports Angels. It's not a bad idea. We had some Daily Blender t-shirts before, but we gave them all out. So I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe we will have some shirts made up for the next remote for the Blender and 1580, the Fanatic. Hitting the Nut says 1680 is my favorite station from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. The other time, not so much. What's on 1680? I'm very curious. I don't know that. I don't even know your radio goes to that.
It might go to 1610.
King of Kenton says bumper stickers end up on refrigerators, water heaters, washing machines in the garage. That's what happens to bumper stickers.
Yeah.
Big George says, I don't know. You should really consider doing bumper stickers, Jeffrey. See a lot of people driving around San Diego with 91X bumper stickers. Well, those are stupid people from California. I think it would be funny if I put 1580 bumper stickers over their stickers. They'll be like, what the hell is this? Yeah. And then they're going to be mad at us, Big George. They're going to think we did that. That's why I say don't put stickers on poles and stuff for the radio station, because then that blows back on us. Big Risk says, well, the problem is I just started this job and I was test driving a vehicle, so it's damage on both the cars. Plus, I'll never hear the end of it from the other guys. Yeah, I hear you, Big Risk, but still, you got to do the right thing, even if it's not comfortable to do, because that car belongs to somebody who's going to walk out there and be like, what the hell? And you don't know what their situation is. And I think your integrity is probably more important than anything else at this moment. And I know it's going to hurt. I know it's going to suck, but probably better to never hear the end of it than to be the bad guy. Fighting Wampa says, it's Friday. Work is over. Heading home. Going to bust out the 1580 cookbook. And, well, I guess I'll starve all weekend because you never made one.
Oh boy!
If you
he suckered me right in on that. I thought that we were going with a feel-good song. Boy, he suckered me right in on that one.
If you're waiting for 1580 cookbook, you will starve. And it was a great idea. I do want to do it one of these days. King of Kenton says both cars belong to the dealership. How do you know that, King of Kittens? Are you with the Big Risk? By the way, the fact that Big Risk is bumping cars into cars, now we know why we call him the Big Risk. That was a big risk hiring that guy.
That was a question that was out there. Question answered.
Senior Reaganbeg says, no damage, no harm, no foul. There's damage. Big Risk says, I'm hoping they leave without seeing it because it's on the passenger side. Then I'm scot-free, right? No Big Risk. It's not,
you could be, but not in the right thing to do. Integrity is what you do when no one's watching.
Yeah,
that's, to me, that's the most important thing to have. And I know it's tough.
He says they don't belong to the dealership. Well, it's even worse. It's even worse. Could be some single mom who's struggling to make ends meet. Now you've put a giant dent in her car. And what if it's the kind of damage that means that now it's not good? You can't do that, Big Risk. Of course, here comes Fed Fan. Big Risk, do a Thelma and release. Run for the law. Don't listen to Fed Fan.
Fed Fan.
Hitting the Nut says, whoops, sorry. I meant to type in 1580. I guess I shouldn't drunk text while I'm driving. He says, kidding, I'm not driving. Wiggy My Piggy says, be the bad guy. Be the bad guy. Be the bad guy. Be the bad guy. Oh my God, you people are horrible. Well, Big Risk, you asked, okay? You asked. By the way, speaking of cars and dealerships, if you're waiting on a Porsche to arrive from Germany on order, you may have to wait because a cargo ship carrying 4,000 cars is now adrift in the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, no.
It doesn't have anything to do with the jam ports. Well, on Wednesday, it caught fire.
Oh, no.
Yeah, serious enough. The Portuguese Navy had to airlift all 22 crew members off the boat.
No. It's a ghost ship with Porsches on it.
Yeah.
Jeffrey,
which means
we need to get a helicopter quick.
According to maritime law, Nobody owns those cars.
Well, nobody who should want them. Okay, now the ship is called the Felicity Ace. It's now abandoned, smoking fire, drifting through the ocean. Spokesperson for Porsche says, not sure what happened, but or what they're going to do next. But right now, they're like, well, maybe it's not so bad. And I saw some pictures. Oh, it's bad.
Oh, there's so much smoke and flames.
Many of these Porsches in the shipment were special orders that customers have been waiting for quite some time. There's also 189 Bentleys. Now, keep in mind, a Bentley costs your house. A Bentley will cost as much as a house. Some Audis, maybe even a couple of Lamborghinis. So the big question is, these people who've been waiting on these cars from Germany, how are they going to be able to show people how big of a douchebag they are if they don't have the Porsche? How can you prove to everybody that you are King Douchebag?
How are they supposed to overcompensate for their manhood?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could just make sure your UFC t-shirt is tight enough to cut off the circulation to your body. That could help. Or maybe keep dousing yourself with Axe body spray till it runs down your leg. That'll help.
That's true.
Refer to everybody as bro, bruh, or even brah. Start every sentence with, well, according to Joe Rogan. Yeah, there you go. That'll do it. Or as we have experienced in the past at this radio station, you could just drive a BMW. Or damn. Or a Fiat. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, sorry, Porsche people. My wife, though, I'm probably in trouble now because my wife actually says, I'm thinking of getting a Porsche. I'm like, what? And she says, yeah. And she's like, I kind of like the 4-door one. I said, honey, you don't want a 4-door Porsche. A 4-door Porsche is for people who don't really get the point of what a Porsche is supposed to be for.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. It's really fast and it looks luxurious. It seems like a really nice car. And I'm like, well, I'm sure you'll enjoy visiting it at the mechanics, on a regular basis because those things break down all the time. And she hopefully she'll move on to the next luxury car idea, like a Toyota Camry.
A Camry, huh?
Dude, I only make so much money. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NBA will take a week off for the All-Star break with the All-Star game Sunday night in Cleveland. Team LeBron, a -215 money line favorite. Team Durant at +185. The over-under set at 319.5. Jalen Green, a +130 favorite to win the slam dunk contest ahead of Obi Toppin at +210. Fred VanVleet +400 in the three-point contest. Trae Young and Patty Mills both +425. Updated college basketball odds. Gonzaga, the favorite to win the national championship at +400 with two SEC teams, Auburn and Kentucky, behind them at +800, then Arizona +900, and Purdue +1200. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Have you started your New Year resolution to lose weight you put on last year? This is Stephen McCollum, host of the Main Event here on The Fanatic. If you're like me, it's hard to start your New Year's resolution to lose those unwanted pounds while we're having football playoff parties every weekend. I'm a client with Valley Medical Weight Loss, so I know firsthand that it really works. I get it. There's too much going on to lose the weight you've been saying you're going to lose. But visit one of their 3 Valley locations to find out how fast the visit is and how affordable it is. They take walk-ins, and if you mention The Fanatic or Money Radio, your first week is free at Valley Medical Weight Loss.
1580 The Fanatic is giving you the chance to experience Innings Festival, the ultimate 2-day spring training music and baseball celebration at Tempe Beach Park on February 26th and 27th. You'll see Tame Impala, St. Vincent, The War on Drugs, Philly Strings, and the Foo Fighters. Plus, meet over a dozen baseball legends, including Roger Clemens, Dave Stewart, and Rick Sutcliffe. Listen for your chance to win tickets good for both days. Innings Festival returns February 26th and 27th. Visit inningsfestival.com to view the full lineup and grab your tickets today.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com. Bruce Jacobs here again from my friends at ProCopy. For the last year, you've heard me talk about how ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available for over 20 years, plus their outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. Now part of Flex Technologies Group, they are committed to ProCopy's industry leadership and excellence. Whether you have branches anywhere in the U.S. or right here in Arizona, you can count on ProCopy and Flex Technologies for all your office equipment needs. They focus on print, document management, document production, and managed IT, representing the best brands such as Canon and Ricoh. They proudly serve over 35,000 customers nationally. They still remain a local company and continue to give back to the community. The ProCopy Foundation has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Give them a call, 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679, and tell them Bruce Jacobs sent you.
College basketball is on the Fanatic. Are you ready for the madness? GCU is charging through the WAC on a collision course for the big dance. Catch their games live on the home of GCU basketball. We catch up with the best the NCAA has to offer. When it comes to college basketball, we are your home for all the action. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Sitting Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and it's time for Sports Betting 101. Our friend Josh Applebaum is here to teach the class. He's the host of Betting Across America at noon, across these radio stations during the week, but Saturdays 11 a.m. here on 1580 Fanatic. He also hosts the Market Insights podcast, and of course, he is the author of Everything Guide to Sports Betting. You can get that on Amazon for a very, very reasonable price. And I tell you what, since sports betting has become legal in the state of Arizona, it's a very valuable resource. All right, so Josh, welcome back to the Blender. Sorry we didn't get to talk to you last week. We were out at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and it was just a madhouse. So how you been, man?
Oh, I've been doing great, guys. Oh, you mean the Tony Soprano Open, right? The Waste Management Open? Isn't that what Tony used to sponsor?
Yeah, I tell you what, I hate the name. I hate the name, but it is an amazing party. And we were out there broadcasting live, and it was just a 750,000 people, just a stream of humanity, and a whole lot of people enjoying sports betting, like with DraftKings. And I'll tell you what, I did bet on the Open, and let me tell you, my strategy was, since I don't know that much about golf, kind of the same strategy I'm employing this week when it comes to the Daytona 500. I picked some what you call chalk chasing, a couple of those, and then I picked some long shots just in case, just to see what would happen. And then I go, okay, if I'm doing $5 and I've got a couple of bucks on some favorites, and I got a couple of bucks on some long shots, no matter what happens, I'll do better than break even. And I did better than break even, because when Scheffel won that thing, my $1 bet got me enough to break even for my losses in the Super Bowl, because I didn't get nothing. How did you do in the Super Bowl?
Well, first off, congrats on doing well. I would say, I'm not huge into, golf and NASCAR and stuff like that, but I would say I work with a lot of people who are experts at that. And one little tip, hope you cash your long shots and to win. But really what a lot of wise guys like to do with both NASCAR and golf is look at, in golf, instead of getting a guy to win, bet him to finish in the top 10 or the top 20. You're not going to get as big of a payout, but it's more likely you're going to cash. You can also do matchups like, when Tiger's back, Tiger versus Phil. Tiger's minus 150, Phil's plus 120. Some of those matchups can be worth it. When it comes to Daytona 500, actually today on Betting Across America, we had Jeff Motley on, who has a great Gone Racing podcast at VSiN, and he looks at group bets. So instead of betting Denny Hamlin to win it, there's a group where typically they put like 4 drivers in the same group, and really you only have to beat, the 3 guys in your group. So that's another way to bet it. But in terms of the Super Bowl guys, did pretty well. I had the Bengals in the points, had the Evan McPherson over 1.5 field goals. So I know it feels like, hey, no football, everyone's depressed, but there's so much more to bet on. Hopefully today we can talk about where you can go with your bankroll now that the NFL is over.
All right. So where do you go with your bankroll now the NFL is over? And if you're not big on, say, NASCAR, are you hitting the NBA? Are you hitting the college basketball? Is it a basketball kind of thing, or do you get involved in the hockey? Where do you go after?
So me personally, right now, it's NBA, college basketball, and the NHL. I'm a huge NHL bettor by nature. So no, I don't want to poke too much fun, but fading your Coyotes out there in Arizona, which, by the way, is it true that they're going to play in the Arizona State Stadium? I mean,
Yes.
What are we doing? What does that seat? 5,000 people? We need to. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are there fans out there for the Coyotes, or is this a relocation at some point?
Here's what the best I can figure out. Gary Bettman does not like to ever admit he's wrong. So he's you remember Citizen Kane when Orson Welles is sitting there clapping like this for his girlfriend this is basically all that is. But what they do know is 5,000 tickets. Now, those 5,000 tickets are probably going to be Coyotes fans, but the Coyotes right now in Glendale, they'll get about 11,000 on average per game. But we also have observed a lot of those are going to be fans of the other teams. And so they probably figure, well, we got 5,000, Coyotes fans who will show up. We'll just do what we got to do to keep the other fans out. And at least we'll keep our fan base happy until we can have our other arena. Then everybody can show up again. That's my probably bad theory on it.
Well, no, that makes total sense to me. And, just kind of thinking about, where sports betting is popular and Arizona going legal. One other way to bet right now, guys. So I do bet NHL, NBA. We're on the All-Star break right now. College basketball is really heating up. But there's also a really interesting prop market out there. So in terms of number one, I'll give you kind of a tip or maybe something that I think is worthwhile betting. It's Monty Williams out in your neck of the woods, coach of the Suns, to win Coach of the Year. He's only like a minus 185 favorite. We get a lot of these bet in dollar splits, the amount of tickets and the handle for different awards at BetMGM. They give it to us daily. Right now, Monty Williams is only getting about 10% of tickets, but almost 30% of the money at BetMGM. So I think with props, we all want to cash a big plus money prop, but I would bet Monty Williams, Coach of the Year, number one record, best team in the NBA. He's done wonders here. Typically you have a Super Bowl hangover or an NBA Finals hangover. Not the case. I like Monty Williams to win that award. And then the other place to go right now, guys, is the NFL draft props. The NFL draft, if you haven't bet it, it's one of my favorite things to bet on. It's an information-based bet. So if you can stay plugged into the mock drafts and read the tea leaves, I think there's a ton of value out there. And we do have one prop bet that I got down on, the number one overall pick, guys. Right now, Aiden Hutchinson, the star pass rusher from Michigan Wolverines, he's plus 165. He's the favorite. Then you have Neal, the tackle from Alabama, plus 175. Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon, plus 350. But here's the thing. I like Evan Neal here to go number one overall, even though he's not the favorite. Jacksonville has the number one pick. They want to protect Trevor Lawrence. Doug Peterson's an offensive-minded guy. You have 3 starting linemen for the Jaguars who are free agents, so you got to replace Cam Robinson and a bunch of others. And Evan Neal, even though he's not the betting favorite, Todd McShay, Mel Kiper, all your major prognosticators here have Neal going number one to protect Trevor Lawrence. So that is a bet that I placed, and just get ready. This is tip of the iceberg. Ton more prop bets for the NFL draft over the next couple of months.
Well, I was reading that the odds-on favorite to win next year's Super Bowl, of course, is the Kansas City Chiefs, and their odds are plus 610. But then you go down where the Jaguars are, like you mentioned, 10,600. Jets, 13,100. In fact, somebody put a $5,000 bet on the Jets for the next to be in the next Super Bowl, and if they're right, they get $1 million. So, do you bet on that far of a future bet for instance, the Super Bowl?
So definitely with the NFL, they got to love it here with Goodell because it's a year-round thing. Like even when the games are over, we're betting on who Aaron Rodgers will take a snap with next year. By the way, I'm like in Green Bay there. They just rehired as quarterbacks coach, but tons of different props. And really, I think when you're looking at these things, you're really trying to look out for situations where, you can try to beat the closing line. So when it comes to futures, like to me, we did see at the South Point where our VSiN studios are located, we took a $20,000 bet, Jimmy Vaccaro at the South Point on the Buffalo Bills at plus 800. So that 20K would pay out, I think like 200,000, something like that. To me though, when you're betting this far in advance, I'm not a big fan of it because we still haven't gone through the draft, free agency, trades, injuries, all that stuff. So the bets right now on next year's Super Bowl, to me, it is betting some of these long shots. I mean, y'all laugh at the Jets, and I agree. It's very unlikely they even make the playoffs. But the Cincinnati Bengals were 150-1 entering this season. Obviously, they don't win it all, but they made the Super Bowl. To me, it's those long shot bets when you bet them early, and even if you get like a 50-1 today, but by week 1 of next year, that team is 25-1. It's not exactly that pros expect these teams to win the Super Bowl. It's that the value of the number is so large that it's worthy of a play and maybe a hedging opportunity later in the year.
Josh, I started betting because I was out in Tennessee when that went legal over there. So I've been betting for just a little bit longer. And so one of my favorite,
smarter than us.
No, I'm actually trying to go back to your draft point because one of the best bets I've made so far is actually I bet on Trey Lance to be the third quarterback taken in last year's draft and made a nice chunk of change doing that. And I like to follow the quarterbacks in the draft process. And is there a thing that you're looking out for over the course of this process, especially this year where we don't even know who the best quarterback is? You look at 6 mock drafts, you see 6 different configurations of all these quarterbacks. What do you look out for in this process?
Yeah, so it's not as easy as, in years past. Like you don't have that number 1 stud, Trevor Lawrence, who, was like a minus 500 favorite and, went to minus 2,000 and then was off the board. So I think with the quarterbacks, what you're looking at is 3 quarterbacks, Pickett from Pitt, Matt Corral from Ole Miss, and keep an eye out on Willis, the kind of like dual quarterback running and throwing from Liberty. He had a really good Senior Bowl. People were really impressed with him. These are the 3 quarterbacks that I would look at going in the first round. So once we get some of these prop bets, they're not all out there, but like over under 3.5 quarterbacks in round 1, I'd look toward the under. Then you can look at, first quarterback selected, Pickett, Corral, Willis. That's when you start to, kind of read the tea leaves. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers could be linked to one of these quarterbacks. They're drafting 20th. You got to replace Big Ben. You do have some prop bets that kind of show like maybe the Steelers go with Pickett because he does have that connection there, having played at Pitt. But to me, Keon, I would definitely look at the over-unders, the head-to-heads, the first quarterback selected. It's not a huge quarterback draft, but still you can make some money. To me, Willis is a guy to keep an eye out for at Liberty because he's getting a lot of buzz. The Senior Bowl has a lot of influence. People are saying that he tore it up. So maybe he's kind of a dark horse, first quarterback selected if he can beat out Pickett.
Hey, Josh, it's Randy. I wanted to talk to you, maybe change gears a little bit as we get into February here. Looking forward to the horse racing season. Are you a horse guy, and do you like betting the ponies?
So I bet the ponies with my buddies. We actually go to Saratoga in New York. It's about my hometown in Massachusetts, the Berkshires, just across the border. It's not too far out. So I'm not like an expert by any nature with horse racing, but one thing I do look at is when you go and you bet on horses, get the book. It's like this betting guide that basically shows all the horses, their data, their lineage. You want to bet on the best trainers. You also want to look at the odds because you'll have the first odds posted. If a horse is like, 3-1 when the first morning line comes out, and then by the race, it's down to 2-1. To me, following movement and looking at lineage and wanting to bet on the horses that have the best owners and the best jockeys, little things like that can definitely pay off. And someone also told me when they're coming out of the paddock, you don't want horses that are going nuts and, biting the other horses and just, kicking their legs up. You want a calm horse that tells you that. And again, you never want to see like a dark spot by their hip. That can be a troublesome sign as well. So these random little things I've picked up over the long haul, guys. But hopefully if it's a bad weather, you got to mutter because his mutter was a mutter, his father was a mutter for your Seinfeld fans.
Oh, brother. Josh Applebaum doing a little soft shoe, little vaudeville for you right here. He's the host of Betting Across America, 11 a.m. on 1580 The Fanatic. Also the author of Everything Guide to Sports Betting on Amazon. Josh, got a question from a texter. Ukla Mock says, what if you bet $1 on each team to win the Super Bowl? Would you end up winning money?
Ooh, that's interesting. So I think you would win money if you had a long shot who was a winner. Like, let's say, going into this year, the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, they're like 6-1. Mm-hmm. You bet $1, you'd get 6 back in the dollar you risk. But then all those, 30, what are the 32 teams, the other 31 teams, you would all lose those dollars. So you'd have to kind of look at, what you're losing versus what you're making. But if you get a long shot, like, let's say the Bengals held on and won that game and you had 150-1 and you bet $1, then of course you would make a profit. So, but those things, I would take a position. A lot of times when you just spread your money and just like hope one of them hits, you may get lucky, but it's not really sustainable. I do your research and, try to pick out at least a couple or kind of limit it to maybe your favorite bets. Or,
maybe you have a better chance of like, okay, if $1 on the Kansas City Chiefs, you say that gets you back $6, right?
Yeah, yep, 6-1, depending on your odds here. And, again, shop around, different books might have different numbers.
Then only bet your top 6 teams. You bet those, the Chiefs and the Bills and the Rams and the Bengals and the 49ers and then the Buccaneers. Those are the top 6 teams. Well, if Vegas is right, then, you may not lose any money. You won't make any money, but then maybe you'll make a few bucks. But I guess that's not very fun, is it? I guess that's not as much fun.
Yeah, I mean, that could work for you. You would just hate to see, someone out of the top 6 win it, and then you go 0 for 6, and I guess you lose your $6. It doesn't matter too much. But along those lines, guys, I would also keep an eye out for NFL win totals. NFL win totals are going to come out shortly. That's where you can really make a good information-based bet. Looking at, a team like the Tennessee Titans, their win total was only 9 this year. Vrabel's won double-digit games pretty much every year there. The win totals, looking at betting on returning coaches, returning quarterbacks, teams with stability, teams who, there's also this thing called Pythagorean theorem where it kind of weights out, your points scored and points against, and you look at your unlucky teams that are due for a bounce back or your lucky teams that are due for kind of some regression. To me, win totals, if you're looking for some action here, that could be the next thing to keep an eye out for.
All right, Big George, I think, is being a wise ass, but I'll go ahead and play. He says, Josh, would you bet on the NBA All-Star game this weekend? I think the West is going to destroy the East, but I know it's always a high-scoring affair, so I'm thinking of betting the over.
So it's really funny. We actually talked about this on Betting Across America. You've got to know the rules for the All-Star game. So Team Durant, Team LeBron. What's interesting is, the total is so high. It's 321.5, like 321 points. It's absurd. But there's this thing called the Elam ending where basically it's really wonky. I'm not going to bore you guys, but instead of having a shot clock or a game clock, there's a target score. So it's the 3rd straight year they've been doing this Elam ending. And here were your point totals: 342, 312, and 320. So basically eliminating the clock, having this target score, that does benefit the over because it's about possessions. And we all know they like to score and we play zero defense basically. So you want to sweat the game, have a little funny money. I don't like putting a ton of scratch on an exhibition game that really there's no implications. You're not trying to win or cover. But I would maybe I'd put, $5 on the over. I think we might get a high scoring game.
Well, Josh, that's all the time we have for Sports Betting 101, but I do feel like I do have to. I just told the listener that he needed to fess up to something, so I got to fess up to something too. Yes, I did make a nice chunk of money off of Scheffler winning the Phoenix Open, but I do have to disclose that I bet on him by accident. That was not on purpose. I'm not even kidding. I was trying to bet on Schaffel because he was with my. I just like to say his name. That's what I said, Keon. I think Josh knows who I'm talking about. He's better. Anyways, and then I realized, kind of like when you buy a lottery ticket at the store X or something that accidentally you get 2 or whatever. You're like, no, I'll take that. Could be good luck. So I kept my bet on Scheffler thinking, might be good luck. So that was just an accident. I just had to cop to that.
You want to know what his happy accident cost me? $25 because I had Patrick Cantlay, damn it.
Like it's my fault. How is it my fault?
Shot, one damn stroke.
Can you explain to Randy White how it's not my fault?
So I would just say you're a man, you're a gentleman and a scholar, you're a man of integrity. Even when you get lucky, you admit that it was lucky. But moving forward, just say you had him the whole way, and you'll get some props for that.
I had Patrick Cantlay all the way.
I told you not to play a guy whose name sounds like somebody who's not getting any.
Oh my God!
Of course not.
Please,
Of course not. You don't pick that guy. Josh Applebaum, thanks so much for being with us. And everybody, check it out on Amazon, The Everything Guide to Sports Betting. It will help you make sense of this new frontier we have here in Arizona. And we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. here on 1580 Fanatic for betting across America on the Bison. So, Josh, thanks for being with us, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it, guys. Get ready for the madness because it's going to be a lot of fun pretty soon.
Oh, that's right. March Madness also heard only here on 15A The Fanatic. So, yes, you're going to have to teach us how to navigate that mess, too. Appreciate it, buddy. All right, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2022 Winter Games, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, and motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com. Day 15 concluded this morning with American figure skaters Alexa Knierim and Brandon Frazier sitting in 6th place, and teammates Ashley Kane-Gribble and Timothy LeDuc in 7th, following the fall-filled mixed pair short program. Gold medal favorites Zhuai and Han of China are currently in 1st place, heading into tomorrow night's mixed pairs free program. The men's gold medal games officially set in ice hockey after ROC defeated Sweden in a shootout this morning 2-1. The Russian Olympic Committee will face off against Finland, which blanked Slovakia in the semis Tuesday. Earlier in the day, decorated American bobsledder Alana Myers-Taylor was selected to be the flag bearer for the closing ceremony. The news came just after Myers-Taylor finished 3rd after 2 runs of the 2-woman bobsled, while teammate Kaylee Humphrey sits in 5th place. With this Winter Games update, I'm Erica Herskowitz, Westwood One Sports.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, we could try to fill the remaining time with awkward pauses. It's often done for comedic effect. Is it working? I can't tell if this is funny. Maybe this is so bad it's funny. Wow, we really peaked at the save big when you switched to Progressive part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need and we'll handle the rest. Sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly. All for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get
1580 The Fanatic is giving you the chance to experience Innings Festival, the ultimate 2-day spring training, music, and baseball celebration at Tempe Beach Park on February 26th and 27th. You'll see Tame Impala, St. Vincent, The War on Drugs, Philly Strings, and the Foo Fighters. Plus, meet over a dozen baseball legends, including Roger Clemens, Dave Stewart, and Rick Sutcliffe. Listen for your chance to win tickets good for both days. Innings Festival returns February 26th and 27th. Visit inningsfestival.com to view the full lineup and grab your tickets today.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona.
Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia
Keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene.
You need to tune in
to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
And always on at 1580thefanatic.com. Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say
you can listen to us on your smart speaker.
Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We got a big weekend ahead. We've got Texas Tech at Texas at 10:15 a.m. tomorrow. We got GCU playing New Mexico State at 5:45 p.m. Then, of course, on Sunday, as has been explained, the Super Bowl of NASCAR, Daytona 500 broadcast begins there at 11:30 a.m. 888-368-1580. Lost Toby says, Send help. Whose turn is it? Whose turn is it? Keon, I think it's your turn.
Is it? How do I do that? I wasn't briefed on the process.
Well, then just get Jen from accounting. We can send her if you're busy, because Lost Toby has just texted in, send help. And by God, I don't know what his problem is. I don't know what he needs. I don't know what's going on. We're not going to leave a guy hanging.
Of course. I'll go ahead and get right on that.
Thank you. Pro Dog says daily blender chili cook-off.
Chili.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I love chili.
We wanted to have some sort of a big barbecue where everybody's sort of like a potluck barbecue, and we were grilling on several different grills and stuff.
No potlucks, please. No
it
potlucks.
Just ends up being kind of a insurance nightmare, but all ideas are being considered. So thanks for that, Pro Dog. Senior Wake and Bake had a question for Josh, but by reading it, I think I can answer it. He says, brand new to betting, was wondering, when I make a bet, when it's final, for instance, can I change a bet at the last minute? Well, I know on DraftKings, I think you can do it on FanDuel too. There is a cash out. So you make the bet, and some bets they won't let you cash out. But a lot of them, I think, right towards the beginning, if you do it by accident, like I did, you can hit cash out, and then it never happened. But when I did it, I was like, let's just see what happens. It could be, and I was right. So glad I did that. But yes, at the last minute, I think that there's a time where here's what I've observed. They'll either say cash out and they'll offer you more than what you bet, but not as much as you would have won. Or you'll see cash out, like you put $1 bet, they'll say cash out 63 cents. So they're like, well, you're probably not going to win this one, but if you want to get some money back, you can do it. So it really depends on the app you're using, whether or not you can get away with that. Senior Wake and Bake. Boomer Sooner says, guys, are my dreaming? I thought I heard somebody say there's football tomorrow. Is there something I missed? Is there an all-star game? Who said football? Nobody said football. Did I say football?
Well, maybe somebody heard Josh Applebaum talking about football. Talking about the draft.
You're dreaming, Boomer Sooner. Yeah, we weren't talking about a game or anything.
No.
Big George says, I thought these progressive commercials with awkward moments of silence were banned in the 5 o'clock hour. That's not us. We can't be blamed for that. That's progressive. I'm sure Radio Ron is on the phone right now screaming at somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Booger Wolf says, Jeffrey, sup. Randy, sup. Fourth Dimension, sup. Keon, you salamander looking ass mofo. Your team is a laughing stock. He.
Okay.
Why is he calling you a salamander?
I don't know. It's the name he likes to call me. Go for it. Salamanders are not even bad lizards. I don't know. I got nothing.
So here's the thing. I figured out who you look like to me. My wife has got me watching that Lucifer show. Have you ever watched the Lucifer show?
I've watched you think he looks
episodes.
like Lucifer?
No,
just
give me a
God.
minute. He doesn't look like the devil. He looks like
Oh.
an angel. His Lucifer's brother is this angel named Advil. I think its name is Advil, or it could be Azra Flavel.
We'll go with that.
So his brother is the African American angel Aslan.
It says on the Google Amenadiel.
Yeah, there you go, that guy. So you kind of, and I know at first glance you're gonna be like, well, I don't look like this guy, but when you watch it, the facial expressions and more importantly his voice reminds me a lot of you. Sometimes his facial expressions and when he talks, I was just like, who's this remind? So if you've never watched it, try to see an episode. Like not the early ones. He's kind of a mean badass at first. Later on, he softens up. Spoiler alert. But that's more along the lines of what I'm talking about. So yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out. I watched a couple episodes with a friend of mine, but I didn't. I wasn't really paying attention at the time, and I did mean to go back around and watch it. I just never got to it.
Well, trust me, it's a compliment. It is a compliment. Unless
I Googled the guy. I think it's a compliment.
All right.
Like if I didn't.
Can you ever really look a guy in the eyes after you Google him, though?
Well, not if he turns around and looks at you from behind.
I'm just saying.
I told you no eye contact. Fed Fan says, if you have potluck, just have everybody sign a waiver so you can't get sued for food poisoning.
Can we just could it be like a meat fest? Could it be a meat fest instead of
maybe
a potluck?
Phrasing.
Let's go with meat fest.
Phrasing.
It's the first annual Daily Blender Meat Fest.
We'll get a very different kind of crowd if we say it's the Daily Blender 15 Day of the Fanatic Meat Fest.
I mean,
can
we do anything but potluck?
I'm just saying you're going to need a lot bigger parking for the floats, okay? Because the parade is coming if you say it's going to be a meat fest. And that's all right. That's not a problem. I'm just saying, be ready for it.
Okay.
It's what is it? It's that one commercial where they're doing their fantasy football draft, and then the other guy comes out dressed as a centaur. He got his fantasies mixed up. Someone's gonna have their meat fest mixed up, and who knows?
We could go with like I don't know, smoked meat jamboree.
Well, that's too many words. I mean, I like a jamboree as much as anybody else.
How about a meat jamboree?
Well, then again,
you can't do just
parade
smoked
parking
meat
involved
jamboree.
in that. So
it's got to be smoked meat jamboree.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that. Senior Wake and Bake says, "Hey, lay off, Keon. You snaggle tooth jackalope." Oh, look at Senior Wake and Bake sticking up for Keon.
Yeah,
calling what was the other guy? Yeah, calling the other guy a snaggletooth jackalope.
How about that?
That's a stunning turn of events for Senior Wake and Bake to stick up for one of us. I guess it's kind of like I said earlier today when Emmanuel Acho went after Doug Gottlieb because Gottlieb was picking on his brother, and I was like, hey, I can tease my brother, you can't, and that is why Emmanuel Acho just went crazy on Gottlieb. And by the way, can I just say, whether he's right or wrong, and even Emmanuel Acho said that Gottlieb was wrong because his brother Sam had a dumb take about not having Patrick Mahomes in his top 5. It wasn't about the take. It's just Emmanuel Acho didn't like this Doug Gottlieb messing with his brother. And that's the way it should be. You stick up your brother. I can mess with him. You can't. And so I guess that's how Senior Wake and Bake sees it. He can mess with us, but nobody else better. And I appreciate that.
I also do appreciate that. I also appreciate Senior Wake and Bake. More creative insults than salamander.
Yeah, not bad. Snaggletooth jackalope is pretty good. And that wasn't directed at Keon. That was directed at the other guy. Who was the other guy? I already forgot. I scrolled and I already forgot. Oh, well, Booger Wolf. It was Booger Wolf. He says a Washington cheerleader's face looks like 2 butt cheeks fighting. All right. Well, that's enough, Booger Wolf. That's just going to be enough out of you, buddy. Right or wrong. That's enough. Boomer Sooner says, Keon, why weren't you paying attention? But were you doing with that friend of yours?
How's he talking about? I think talking about the watching the show with the angel looks like Keon, and Keon said he was not paying attention.
He's making out with his girlfriend, is what it was.
He was
they
with
probably
a
started watching,
friend,
and they got like this.
You're not supposed to kiss and tell, but okay, here we are. All right. Well, now
if you're not kissing like that, I don't. I'm sorry for your relationship.
That was some serious tongue work there. All right.
Random texter says, Randy, is it possible to look at the guy in the eyes after you Google him?
No.
Well, it is possible. You just can't make googly eyes at him.
No, you can't look at a guy in the eyes once you Google him.
It certainly did turn into a Friday show, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to run out of time if I don't do this. So I had a man card accreditation to give. It was an award, but I don't think we'll have time. So remind me to do that Monday. Right now it's time for On This Date in Big George's Sports. Back to the year 1978, a gun sounded for the first ever Ironman triathlon at Waikiki Beach in Hawaii. John Collins, a Navy commander, created and named the event, which consists of a 2.4-mile ocean swim, followed immediately by a 112-mile bike race and a full 26.2-mile marathon. 15 starters, 12 finishers, and Gordon Howler, a Honolulu cab driver, was the winner. Took him 11 hours and 46 minutes, but hell yeah, that Ironman thing is no joke. George says, I don't know if this is true, but he says, in close second place was a very young Randy White. You never told me about this.
Well, some things are better left unsaid.
Well, as you know on this
I know
show,
how competitive you are.
I've never done the Ironman, so I'm not competitive. But I'm impressed. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I know they had at least one of the Ironman competitions out in Chattanooga, and I've never seen an event live that I never ever want to be a part of. That the run and then swim, or well, I don't even know if I have the order correct, but the running, swimming, and biking in any order, quite frankly, is no thank you.
Yeah, if I forget something upstairs and have to go back up and down the stairs again, I'm upset. There's no way I'm doing an Ironman.
Well,
forget that nonsense.
Back in my younger days, guys. What can I say?
I'm impressed.
I am also impressed.
Thank you.
888-368-1580. What do we have? Like a minute left? Yeah. Oh no, it's over. I thought maybe I was going to be able to give this award, but I guess I'll have to wait.
And you know what this marks?
What
right
does this
here.
mark?
The beginning of my birthday weekend.
That's right. Oh my God. Yes. Sorry.
Beginning of my birthday weekend right here.
You didn't seem to want to talk about it before, but
I don't want to talk about it. I just wanted to let you guys know it's the beginning of my birthday weekend.
Happy birthday to the Randy Whites. That is tomorrow, I think. So do I say? Do I just nothing more than I say nothing more than happy birthday, right?
You do whatever you want to.
Randy is hitting a major milestone birthday. Tomorrow, Randy White will be 70 years old.
Nope, 60.
So happy birthday, Randy. No,
60.
you go as 70, and then people say you look great for 70.
Oh.
See?
Okay, then I'm 80. I'm
80 years
tomorrow.
old, Randy White. We'll be back in your radios again on Monday at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Happy birthday.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to